Welcome back to everybody who's joining us on the National Racing Network live stream. Took the intermission a little bit early tonight, which means we are going to be racing straight through to the finish of the final checkered flag here on the Summer Sizzler and Ice Cream Night here at Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway. My name is Chris Graham. It is a pleasure to have you joining us. Got to say a big thank you to all the fans in the grandstands. A little bit of a rain shower came in right at the end of the makeup features. But we are ready to go for heat racing. Here's the lineup for Sportsman Heat number 1. Nate Gibble and Brett Scully on the front row, Mike Kreiser and Michael Spadafora in row number 2. Jack Redkay and Mike Miller in row 3, while Jamie Flickinger and Steve Smith Sr. occupy row 4. Billy Logan and R.J. Rossi and Shane Showers round out the field. Green flag in the air. They're going to be 3, almost 4 wide off of turn number 4. We are underway here in our regularly scheduled heat racing events. Nate Gibble holds on to the early lead, but Mike Kreiser is going to be all over his back bumper. Best battle on the racetrack, going to be back for the 4th position. Jamie Flickinger looks inside of Michael Spadafora. That 9G ran very well at the front of the field 1 week ago till late trouble pushed him towards the back. Coming to the inside, Billy Logeman in the number 88 comes around the Alpha Seal 9G. Logeman also coming around the 22S of Brett Scully off of turn 2. That 88 of Logeman is the fastest car on the racetrack, and he sets the quickest lap again the last time by. 3 of 8 laps in the books. The race leaders approaching lap traffic. Kreiser looked inside of Gibble. They're going to split the lap car. 2 for 1, new race leader, Billy Logeman. What a pass. Here comes Nate Gibble back to the inside, but he is not going to have the ability to get the job done there. Billy Logeman holds on to the race lead. Nate Gibble, Mike Kreiser now battle side by side off at 2. Kreiser falling back into the clutches of Mike Miller. Miller all over his back bumper as we're going to be down to 3 laps remaining this next time by. Oh, a little bit of trouble for the 647 of R.J. Rossi. That car almost came to a stop in turn 4. Nice piece of driving to keep it going. Logeman is checked out, still setting quick lap after quick lap. He does it again, 11.310 seconds. The lead is the length of the back straightaway. Battle for second, third, and fourth between Nate Gibble, Mike Kreiser, and Mike Miller seems to have settled in just a little bit. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Make it 2 more corners. Off of turn number 4, Billy Logeman going to pick up the checkered flag in heat race number 1 for the Sportsman Division. He'll be followed across the line by Nate Gibble, Mike Kreiser, Mike Miller, and Jamie Flickinger to round out the top 5. 21 cars on the entry list tonight, so all will qualify for tonight's feature event. As we get ready to push out Sportsman Heat number 2, want to tell everybody about the very cool stuff we got coming up Labor Day weekend on the Sunday of Labor Day weekend. The Bud Spring Service Labor Day Shootout, day number 2. In all classes, we're going to be giving away lap money. Lap 13, $25 to the race leader, courtesy of the National Racing Network in the halfway leader bonus. All classes, lap number 25, the last car across the start-finish line. So the last car to finish will receive $10, courtesy of Holly Wagner. The 600 and 270 classes, lap number 23, $10 courtesy of Westfab. And in the 600s, lap 11, position 11 will pick up $10 courtesy of Zach Light Racing. Heat race number 2 for the sportsmen on the racetrack. Here is the starting lineup. Front row will have the 5A of Anthony Yerger and the 13B of Matt Yo. Row number 2, the 53S of Shannon Slaughter and the 21V of David Ravel. Row 3, the 15 of Robert Shanneman and the 3S of Jeremy Eisenhower. Row number 4, the 23K of Courtney Cup and the 26 of Corey Schmuck Jr. Row number 5, the 21 of Toby Blumenshine and the 5 of Brett Cronrath. That is the starting field for sportsman heat race number 2. A little bit of a surprise not to see the 21 of Toby Blumenshine here 1 week ago. Toby, a regular and a prior champion of the sportsman division back in 2018. That car back on the racetrack tonight and draws the last starting spot or next to last starting spot in his heat race. 26 of Corey Schmuck Jr. has been very fast all season long. Green flag in the air. We are underway. Keep your eye on David Ravel in that 21V. He was the winner 1 week ago. 3 wide to the outside. Yerger does not get up to speed. The whole field's going to bottle up. How did they not wad up a bunch of race cars there? Matt Yo able to hold on to the race lead as they hit into turns 3 and 4, but he is going to be under a 2-prong attack. From Jeremy Eisenhower and Dave Ravel. In fact, Jeremy Eisenhower picking up the race lead off of turn number 2. Little bit of a wheel stand off the corner. Jeremy Eisenhower to the front of the field. Matt Yo holding on to second. Dave Ravel trying to make the outside work. And here comes Schmuck and Blumenshine. Corey Schmuck Jr. going to try to make it 3 wide off the corner. Yo slides up in front of Ravel. Blumenshine really had to get on the binders. Oh, man. Wow, Toby keeps the car moving. Everybody else does a fantastic job to avoid him, and all the hard work done by the driver, the 21, is going to go out the window with 6 to go. Top 3 distancing themselves cleanly as they get the cross flags from Chief Starter Michael Fry. Jeremy Eisenhower holds on to the race lead over Corey Schmuck Jr. David Ravel runs 3rd. Shannon Slaughter, nice drive up to the 4th position. Brett Cronrath in the 5 did not get a lap in hot laps and did not run at all. I believe 1 week ago, that car had trouble last week as well. Good to see that 5 car picking up a solid run here. All cars are going to qualify with 21 on the entry list. Twin sticks at the start-finish line. 2 laps to go for Jeremy Eisenhower over Corey Schmuck Jr. The gap, 0.9 of a second from first to second place. The 21 of Toby Blumenshine just set the quickest lap of the race. Blumenshine out of the 6th position currently. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Lap traffic won't be an issue. Off at turn 4, checkered flag in the air. Jeremy Eisenhower picks up the win over Corey Schmuck Jr. Dave Ravel comes home 3rd. Shannon Slaughter 4th. Brett Cronrath to round out your top 5. Fantastic pass by Jeremy Eisenhower off at turn number 2. Picked up the race lead just before the halfway point. Ends up taking the win by 0.8 of a second over Corey Schmuck Jr. Another 2 seconds almost back to Dave Ravel. In fact, about 1.5 seconds. Shannon Slaughter, Brett Cronrath, your top 5. Toby Blumenshine, Matt Yo, Robert Shanneman, Courtney Cup, and Anthony Yerger round out the field. That's going to do it for Sportsman Heat Racing. Coming up next will be 2 heat races for the Hyper Racing 600s. Again, 21 cars on the entry list, so all will qualify for tonight's feature. Field already getting doubled up. Here is the starting lineup. On the front row for heat race number 1, the 71 of Brian Kramer. The 51 of Chris Gerhart will line up to his outside in position number 2. 2S of Mike Rutherford and the 22K of Kyler Heine on row number 2. With the 88 of Nick Skias and the 42U of Tyler Ulrich occupying the third row. 2SX of Mikey Smith and the 17 of Brent Ely in row 4, starting 7th and 8th, respectively. Row number 5 will have the 1 of Willer Kuski and the 11Z of Zach Light. Rounding out the field all alone in row number 6, the 11H of Holden Ekman. Green flag in the air. We are underway. Good start for Brian Kramer. Here comes Mike Rutherford looking to the inside of Chris Gerhardt. He'll get that pass completed off at turn number 2. Gerhardt going to slide right back down to the inside. Try to throw the slider on Rutherford. Not able to get him clear. Kramer, Rutherford, Gerhardt, Heine, and Skias in the 88. Oh, but here comes the 2SX of Mikey Smith. That car was a rocket ship last weekend and broke early. Looks like he's going on the tear again. Little bit of a bump developing in turn 1. You can really see the cars hitting and rocking hard as they get into the corner. Big slide job out of Mikey Smith. He'll pick up the 4th position from Kyler Heine. Heine going to try to return the favor. Not close enough. In fact, that allows Nick Skias to get underneath the 22K. He'll do it in turns 3. Slide job city here at the Clyde early in heat race action on a summer sizzler Saturday night. Mikey Smith throws the haymaker going into 3. Chris Gerhardt crosses him back over. Smith thought about trying it again. Gerhardt chopped the line off. Halfway home in this one, Brian Kramer, the race leader, set the fastest lap of the race the last time by. Mike Rutherford, 0.6 of a second back in second. What a fantastic battle we're going to have here for third between Mikey Smith and Chris Gerhardt. Smith throws a slider in 3 and 4. Cross back by Gerhardt. Smith going to try it again in turns 1 and 2. Slides right up the racetrack. Gerhardt crosses them right back again. Smith now going to run the outside lane. Try to diamond the corner off just a little bit. Twin sticks are out. 2 laps remaining. Race leader Brian Kramer across the start-finish line. He takes the white flag, slide job, turn 4. Mikey Smith and Chris Gerhardt. They're going to do it again. They're going to continue that dance off of turn number 2. Race leaders off at turn 4. Checkered flag in the air. Brian Kramer picks up the win. How about Chris Gerhardt holding on to third over Mikey Smith and Nick Skias? Clean and green, 10 laps in 2 minutes. A little bit less than for the race leader, in fact. Brian Kramer getting the win over Mike Rutherford, Chris Gerhardt, Mikey Smith, Nick Skias, the top 5. Tyler Ulrich, Kyler Heine, Zach Light, Holden Ekman, and Brent Ely, the top 10. Second of 2 heat races for the Hyper Racing 600s. Going to roll out onto the Speedway here in just a moment. Then we will have 3 heat races for the 270s and then 3 for the 125s and 4-strokes. Want to congratulate our Kids Club Pit Crew member of the night, Seth Gregory. Seth was selected earlier in the night, in fact, before hot laps, getting to spend the whole night with one of the crews in the pit area. For the victory lane photos, we will announce those in just a little bit, but we do have some prize winners to announce as well. Destiny Skias, Kylie Cup, Kinsley Myers, Kylie Wyke, and Haley Wilson. You are all prize winners. Head on over to the Kids Club table and claim your prizes. Zach Beeler and Johnny Smith going to lead the field to green. Brianne Whitmer, TJ Grieve in row 2. Chris Pansner, Cody West in row number 3. Aaron Espenshade, Brent Shearer, Heath Hanley, Cassidy Michael round out the field. Green flags in the air. Good side-by-side battle heading into turn number 1. 4S of Johnny Smith going to grab the race lead from the 44 as Zach Beeler. TJ Grieve looks inside, throwing the slide job, turns 3 and 4. Beeler gets back down to the inside. He'll return the favor in turns 1 and 2. Great drive off the corner. Puts TJ Grieve up to second. Brianne Whitmer with a fantastic run to the inside. That's 16 now currently running in the 4th position. She's going to battle side by side with Cody West. Chris Pansner now looking to attack on the back bumper of the 16 off of turn number 4. This is the battle for the 6th position. Pansner comes past. Heath Hanley now trying to come to the outside of Whitmer off at turn number 4. He'll have the momentum off at 2 and complete the pass. The pass was really done off of 4. But Hanley didn't get out in front until they were off at turn number 2. Single file racing front to back. Halfway home, just over 60 seconds in. Johnny Smith still going to be the race leader. Coming across the start-finish line now, TJ Grieve is catching and setting the fastest laps of the race. The gap is 0.8 of a second as we'll be down to 3 circuits remaining this time by. Towards the back of the pack, Aaron Espenshade looks inside of Breanne Whitmer. Whitmer slams the door off the corner. That's going to be the only side-by-side racing on the track. Espenshade, maybe a little bit of right side romance to the driver of the 16. But he'll get the pass completed as the white flag flies at the start-finish line for Johnny Smith. TJ Grieve is catching the race leader. He shaved 0.3 off over the last 2 laps, but it will not be enough. Off of turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. Johnny Smith picks up the heat race win over TJ Grieve, Zach Beeler, Cody West, and Chris Pansner. Aaron Espenshade, Breanne Whitmer, Brent Shearer round out the field. Cassidy Michael in the 3K was a did not start. And that's going to wrap up Hyper Racing 600 heat racing. 2 heat races, 4 minutes in total. We'll take that every single Saturday night, that's for sure. 270s are going to start to roll out onto the racetrack. They just finished their first feature event not too long ago. They're going to bring up 3 heat races, and they will have a consi tonight because we have 33 cars in the entry field. So here in the in the 125 and 4-stroke division, looks like we're going to have several cars that will be making a late appearance here. This one is going to be a spectacular time for the announce crew up here. Starting on the pole will be the number 6 of Austin Graby. The 6 is on the top wing, but the tail tank says the 46. It's the Johnny Lightning colors he's run all season. Starting in second place, the 29 of Brandon Shearer will line up to his outside. Scheduled to start third is the 46 of Mike Glass. And the 78 of Sarah Borer will line up outside of row number 2. The 11H of Holden Ekman and the 28 of Kyle Lindsay scheduled to start in row 3. 12 of Brent Shearer and the 56 of Dick Huzzard in row 4. Scheduled for row 5, the 19 of Matt Fernsler and the 3H of Zach Hollinger, and the 44 of Riley Simmons scheduled to round out the field. Sounds like we're waiting on the 46 of Mike Glass. He will have to head to the rear, as will the 12 of Brent Shearer. So what it looks like we have here is that the 6 and the 46 have basically swapped cars. The top wings are what you want to keep your eye on. The 6 of Austin Graby is on the pole. The 46 of Mike Glass is at the back of the field. Also, the 12 of Brent Shearer has the wing of the 647 car on it. So keep your eye on the 647 if you're a fan of Brent Shearer. Looks like the lineup is good. Green flag in the air. Austin Graby jumps out to the early lead over Brandon Shearer. Sarah Boer and Brent Shearer going to go side by side into turn one. Shearer slides just a little bit up the racetrack. That's going to open up the door for Zach Hollinger to get down to the inside. Boer now sliding back into the 5th position under the attack of the 28 of Kyle Lindsay. Mike Glass having a little bit of an issue trying to get past the 56 of Dick Huzzard towards the front of the field. Let's pick up the battle for the 3rd position. Brent Shearer in the 12/647 runs in the 3rd position. Trouble for the race leader. Austin Graby pulls off into the infield. His race will be done. Brandon Shearer will move up to the top spot. Top 6 are going to transfer tonight. Mike Glass just moving into that position. Brandon Shearer holds on to the race lead. Brent Shearer runs in 2nd. Zach Hollinger 3rd. Those cars have distanced themselves significantly from the 4th place battle between Sarah Boer and Mike Glass. Glass still trying to get around the outside of the 78. Boer doing a nice job of holding on to her line. Almost little left side loving from the driver of the 46 as Mike Glass gets to the inside and completes the pass on the 78. Dick Huzzard in the 56 currently occupies the final position on the racetrack. That is 7th. Kyle Lindsay going to work on Sarah Boer for the 5th position. Top 3 are long gone. In fact, Mike Glass catching quickly the 3H is Zach Hollinger, but he will not have enough time as we're down to 2 laps to go. Brandon Shearer, the race leader, going to come off at turn number 4 and see the white flag with Brent right behind him. Zach Hollinger just a little bit further back, 3/4 of a second back to the 3rd. Race leader down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag in the air. Top 3 will not see a change. Brandon Shearer picks up the win over Brent Shearer and Zach Hollinger. Mike Glass will come home 4th. Sarah Borer with a nice run holding on to the 5th position. 6th to Kyle Lindsay. And Dick Huzzard in the 56 will have to head to the Consi. Austin Graby did not finish. Holden Ekman, Matt Fernsler, and Riley Simmons were all a did not start. Heat race number 2 for the 125s and 4-strokes rolling out onto the racetrack. Here is your starting lineup. On the pole will be the 55C of Ron Crossley. To his outside, the 25W of Nate Weidman. 26 of Tyler Martin and the 04 of Sam Borger will make up row number 2. 22 of Jared St. John and the 77G of Isaac Graby in row number 3. Row 4, the 13 of Shane Davis and the 62 of Fast Eddie Nocera in row 4, starting 7th and 8th respectively. And in the final row, the 3 of Mike Miller and the 76 of Justin Harrington. Plenty of storylines in this one. The 25W of Nate Weidman had an absolutely massive hit earlier in the night. Good to see that car back out on the racetrack. The 22 of Jared St. John actually didn't even get to run in the makeup feature. That car had a fire in hot laps. Jared back in the car. Looks like he will be able to contest the second heat race for the division. And keep your eye on the 76 of Justin Harrington. That car was lightning quick in the makeup feature earlier tonight. And he is going to start shotgun on the field in the 10th position. He'll be starting on the outside, though, which is for a kid like Justin, that's an advantage. He was absolutely up against the guardrail of this place earlier tonight. Trouble for the 13 of Shane Davis. That car will be pushed off the racetrack. And prior to the race, there is not a work period available to these teams. In fact, there is no work clocked this season. So everybody's going to shuffle their way through the lineup here. Looks like the lineup is good to go. We are ready to go racing. 10 laps the distance here in heat race number 2 for the 125s and 4-strokes. Crossley and Weidman going to lead the field to green. Martin and Borger in row number 2. St. John and Graby in row 3. Nocera and Miller in row 4. All alone out back, Justin Harrington. Green flag in the air. We are underway. Field's clean off of turn number 4. 3 wide down the front straightaway. Big move by Justin Harrington down to the inside. He's going to pick up a couple of spots going into turn 1. In fact, he's going to come around the 77G of Isaac Graby. Graby makes a little bit of contact with Eddie Nocera. Justin Harrington comes around Jared St. John. 1 lap in. Justin Harrington is 4 spots ahead. Comes around Sam Borger, picks up the 4th position. So we're going to have a duel at the front for the race lead as well. We'll pick up that battle. Ron Crossley able to hold on to the spot down the back straightaway. Nate Weidman, the fastest car on the racetrack, going about a 10th quicker than Crossley that last lap. Tyler Martin and Justin Harrington quickly catching the 2 cars at the front of the field. Trouble for the 3 of Mike Miller. He pulls off into the infield. Caution flag is out. Yellow flag in the air for the 3 of Mike Miller, who comes to a stop. Miller comes to a stop inside the back straightaway. lineup looks good. We are ready to go back to green flag racing. Justin Harrington has the quick lap of the race at a 12.107 seconds. Set 1 lap ago. 3 laps in the books, 7 laps remaining. Top 6 to transfer, 8 remain on the racetrack. Justin Harrington looks to the inside of Tyler Martin going into turn 1. He'll pick up the position there. As Isaac Graby in the 77 looks to the inside of Sam Borger going into 3. That's going to drop Sammy back to the 6th position and into the clutches of Eddie Nocera for the final transfer spot. Battle heating up for 2nd as well. Justin Harrington looking to the outside of Nate Weidman, not close enough to attempt to pass off a 4, but he's going to stuff it in down into turn 1. Backs it off just a hair. Weidman knows he's there now. The 25W looking to make the big move on Ron Crossley. Crossley doing a fantastic job to hold on to the race lead. Weidman looks inside, entering turn number 3. Almost a little bit of contact. Crossley slams the door on the 25W. That's going to open up the chance for Justin Harrington to get there as well. Harrington runs the higher lane. Gets the big run down the back straightaway. Going to be twin sticks and 2 to go this next time by. Weidman outside of Crossley for the lead. Harrington looks way to the inside. Has to jump on the binders. Weidman gets the pass made off at turn number 2. He'll see the white flag. Nate Weidman with 1 lap to go here in heat race number 2. Here's Justin Harrington to the inside of Crossley. He'll get the pass made, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to catch your race leader. Off at turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. Nate Weidman picks up the heat race win over Justin Harrington, Ron Crossley, Tyler Martin, Isaac Graby, Sam Borger round out the 6 qualifying cars. Eddie Nocera and Jared St. John complete the running order. Mike Miller was a did not finish. Shane Davis in the 13, a did not start. Third and final heat race for the 125s and 4-strokes making their way out onto the racetrack. Here is the starting lineup. On the front row will be the 18 of Ron Young and the 99 of Cliff Bryan Jr. The LR62 with Drayson Laser and the 5 of Terry Ellicks in row number 2. Row 3, the 16 of Marty Bryan and the 24 of Logan Road. The 112 of Dylan Yankston, the 7L of Chase Laser will make up row number 4. Row number 5, the 44X of Alex Lucas, and the 3Y of Zach Young. Number 3 for the 125 in Sportsman Division. Field making their way off of turn number 2. Down the back straightaway into start zone. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Ron Young gives up the lead to Cliff Bryan, as he makes his way down into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway for the first time. Terry Ellicks looks to the inside. He'll pick up position number 3. Three-way battle going on for the 4th position. At the front of the field, Cliff Bryan Jr. setting quick lap after quick lap. Marty Bryan already up to the second position, 3 laps in the books. Terry Alex holds on to third, running the inside lane, but here comes Chase Laser. Final 6 cars that are going to automatically lock in. Currently that 6th position occupied by the 44X of Alex Lucas. Fields gotten the cross flags. 5 more laps remaining. Battle starting to heat up for third. Chase Laser catching in on the back of Terry Alex. The 5 holding on to the spot as the 3Y as Zach Young pulls into the infield. The LR62 with Drayson Laser was a did not start in this one. It's going to be down to 2 laps remaining. No change among the top 6. The Bryan brothers split the racetrack. Cliff high, wide, and handsome through 3 and 4. Marty Bryan diamonds the corner off just a little bit in the turn 1 and 2 end of the Speedway. Now Marty runs back up to the outside. White flag is out, 1 lap remaining. Cliff Bryan catches Ron Young to put the number 18 1 lap down. Checkered flag in the air. Give the heat race win to Cliff Bryan Jr. over Marty Bryan. Terry Alex holds on to third. Fourth to Chase Laser. Logan Road and Alex Lucas round out the 6 cars that will automatically transfer to tonight's feature. Dylan Yinkst, Ron Young, Zach Young, and Drayson Laser all will have to head to the consi. Cliff Bryan Jr. going full Ricky Bobby for the heat race winner photos over there. That surely will be one of the more spectacular ones that Mike Knappenberger gets this season. Coming up now, 3 heat races for the 270 division. Here is the starting lineup for heat race number 1. On the schedule to be on the pole, the 4L of Ben Laser, and to his outside, the 22 of Clinton Hauser. 88D of Andrew Dietrich and Charles Hellinger's 13S will occupy row number 2. Row 3, the 55 of Pete Skias and the 56H of Zach Hollinger. Row 4, the 25 of Tom Landwehr and the 48 of Jonah Meck. 8S of Mike Skias, 4K of Trent Eberhardt in row 5, and all alone in row number 6, the 82 of Heath Hanley. That number 82 Gold Rush trailer sales machine was very, very quick in the makeup feature earlier tonight. It'll be fun to watch that car come from the back. Trent Eberhardt also a very quick race car around this place. Pete Skias in the 55 had a ton of trouble. The 56H of Zach Hollinger, in fact, was basically black flag for a 3 strikes violation in the 270 feature race earlier tonight. So once again, storylines abound as we get ready to roll off here in the qualifications for the 270s. 3 heat races, top 6 will transfer, 10 laps the distance. Lights are out, and we are ready to go. Heat race number 1 for the 270s. Coming up next is going to be the consolation races for the 125s and 4-strokes and the 270s. Going to be a short turnaround for these guys. And then it'll be feature time. Green flag in the air. Good lead for Ben Laser. Field clean and green off of turn number 4. Laser looks to the inside of Clinton Hauser. Not able to, oh man, big over the right side. Oh, huge hit into the outside wall for Zach Hollinger. He keeps his foot in it. One car going around in turn number 2. That is the 13S of Charles Hellinger. Actually, excuse me, that's I believe the 8S of Mike Skias. Once again, our 5 Lanco Kids Club prize winners tonight. Destiny Skias, Kylie Cupp, Kinsley Myers, Kylie Wyke, and Haley Wilson. Head on up to the Kids Club table to claim your prizes. Destiny Skias, Kylie Cupp, Kinsley Myers, Kylie Wyke, and Haley Wilson. Head on up to the Kids Club table and claim your Lanco Kids Club prizes. Lights are out, so we are going to be going back to green flag racing with 9 laps remaining. We got 1 in the books. Clinton Hauser set the fastest lap of the race at 11:09:05. Ben Laser's going to line up just behind him. Green flag is out. We are back underway. What a restart for Clinton Hauser. He's going to have 3 car lengths as they head into turn 1. Andrew Dietrich all over the back bumper, and Ben Laser off at 2. Zach Hollinger and Pete Skias going to battle for the 4th position. Oh, man, what a hip check by Pete Skias on Zach Hollinger. Whole lot of right side romance out of the 55. Hollinger returns a favor. Oh, and he spins it around off the corner. Comes to a stop inside of 2. Caution flag is out. Lights are out. We're ready to go back to green flag racing once again. They still got 1 lap in. Clinton Hauser holds on to the race lead. Ben Laser tried to get the jump. Hauser went right on the line. Skunked him on the start. Clinton Hauser's going to lead by 4 car lengths going into 1. Andrew Dietrich looking to the outside of Laser off at 2. He's going to have to contend with Pete Skias. Somebody's got to lift, and it's going to be Andrew Dietrich. Skias gets to the inside of Laser. He picks up the 2nd position. Dietrich throws a little bit of a hip check on Laser. He'll make the clean pass off at turn 2. Put Andrew Dietrich up to position number 3. Looking back towards the battle for the final transfer spot right now. It's going to belong to the 82 of Heath Hanley getting around Tom Landwehr. Trouble! Landwehr goes around. They're going to stack 4 cars up in turn number 2. It's going to be halfway once they get the next green flag. Looks like Tom Landwehr is going to try to push off. The 56 of Zach Hollinger is going to come to a stop in the infield. Looks like the heat race will be over for that car, and he had a ton of trouble in the makeup feature race as well. 48 of Jonah Meck now almost looks to be, he was just a little bit beached trying to get over the inside berm in turn 1 and 2. That car will push to the infield. We'll see if the Beer Den, number 48, is able to refire. Looks like he's got a little bit of an issue on the left front. So the heat race is over for Jonah Meck. He will head to the consolation race as well. 9 cars remaining in the show. Field makes their way down the back straightaway. Clinton Hauser holds on to the race lead. Pete Ski is going to be all over his back bumper off of turn number 4. We are back underway. Ben Laser going to fight with Charles Hellinger. That's going to be the battle for 4th. Here comes Heath Hanley up to the outside. Big crossover move down the back straightaway. Hanley going to slide inside of Laser. Force him up the racetrack. Heath Hanley up to position number 4. Slide job, turn 2. New race leader Pete Skias. Dietrich comes to the inside. He's going to get around Clinton Hauser as well. Thought about going 2 for 1 on Skias, but wasn't quite close enough. We're down to 4 laps remaining. Down the front straightaway, race leader Pete Skias has a huge gap over Andrew Dietrich. 3/4 of a second, in fact, is the race lead. Running in third still Clinton Hauser, but he's going to come under attack by Heath Hanley off of corner number 2 with 2 laps remaining. Hanley right there looks down to the inside. White flag is out, 1 to go. Hanley not able to clear the 22 that time. He's going to try it again in turns 1 and 2. Slides up the racetrack, forces Hauser to get on the binders. Checkered flag in the air. Heat race win to Pete Skias. What a drive for that young man. Coming from 5th to the win. Andrew Dietrich finishing in the 2nd position. 3rd to Heath Hanley, who started 11th. Clinton Hauser, Mike Skias, and Ben Laser will round out the transfer cars. Charles Hellinger, Trent Eberhardt, Tom Landwehr, Jonah Meck, Zach Hollinger, all are going to head to the Consi. Heat race number 2 for the 270s. Heat race number 2 for the 270s rolling out onto the racetrack. Starting on the pole will be the 5A of Anthony Yerger, and the 2 of Mike Miller will line up to his outside. Row number 2, the 44 of Pat Beeler, and the 2020 of Corey Schmuck Jr. Row 3, 17J, Jared Imler, and the 3S of Nick Skias. Row 4, the 92 of Jason Swavely. 7L Chase Laser will start in the 8th position. Row number 5, the 8Z of Nate Gibble, and the 02 of Alex Swift. All alone in row number 6, the 63 of Tajay Adams. After this heat race, we'll be throwing out the footballs. Green flag is out. We are underway. Good jump for Anthony Yerger. Big move to the outside by Mike Miller. 3 wide, turns 1 and 2. Corey Schmuck Jr. splits the difference. Caution is out. Fantastic pass by Corey Schmuck Jr., and it's all going to be for naught as the 17J of Jared Imler comes to a stop in turns 1 and 2. The lights are out. We're getting ready to go. Still 10 laps the distance. Anthony Yerger, Mike Miller going to lead the field to green. Miller gets the jump off the corner. Beeler gets shuffled out, playing a little bit of ping pong with a 44. They're going to be 3 wide off of turn number 2. Beeler holds on to the outside. Nick Skias looks to the inside. That's the battle for 4th. Challenging the 2020 of Corey Schmuck Jr. for 3rd. Great drive off the corner. Nick Skias, a lot of torque and horsepower in that motor. He clears Schmuck, as does Pat Beeler. Beeler going to lose just a little bit as we're going to have a battle for the race lead. Mike Miller running the low side. Jason Swavely up against the rim in the outside of turns 3 and 4. Miller slides up to the middle lane, cuts off the line that Swavely wanted to run off the corner. Oh, man, big block by Mike Miller off at turn number 2, but it may not make a difference. Able to keep it wound up. Mike Miller holds on to the race lead as lap number 4 goes on the scoreboard. Swavely down to the inside. No chance for Miller to block the effort that time. Swavely slides up to lace trace. Almost making contact at the start-finish line. Miller holds on to the race lead. What a drive by Mike Miller, and Nick Skias is going to join the party as well. Skias looks to the inside of Swavely heading into turns 1 and 2. Swavely rips the lip on the outside, splits the difference. Oh, man, great pass, Jason Swavely down into 3, but he's going to slide up the racetrack and open the door for Miller. Miller not able to get back, but he's going to return the favor in 1 and 2. Swavely with the big crossovers. Miller slides up against the outside retaining wall. Skias has a fantastic view with this battle, and Pat Beeler and Alex Swift are rapidly catching this 3-car tango at the front of the field. It could be a 5-car battle for the race lead. White flag is out. 1 lap to go for Jason Swavely, who opens up a 7/10 of a second lead over Nick Skias. Skias able to gap Miller just a little bit as well. Swift comes by Beeler off of turn 2. Checkered flag is out. Jason Swavely picks up the win over Nick Skias. Mike Miller, Alex Swift, Pat Beeler, and Corey Schmuck Jr. will be the final car to transfer out of this heat race. Todd J. Adams, Jared Imler, Chase Laser, Nate Gibble, and Anthony Yerger will all head to the cons. Final heat race of the night, getting ready to roll out onto the Speedway, and it will be for the 270s. Starting on the pole will be the Logaman Construction, number 74 of Billy Logaman. Scheduled to start second, the 96W of Chase Walker. Row number 2 will have the 5K of Mike Rutherford and the 21H of Matt Hoffman. 77H of Adam Harnish, and the 647 of Barry Shearer will make up row number 3. 49W of Johnny West and the 16P of Patrick Kern in row number 4, while the 87 of Austin Gravy and the 29J of Danny Lane Jr. will occupy the 5th row. All alone in row number 6, the 53 of Brent Shearer. We need our sportsman drivers to head on down. See Debbie Splain, get ready to throw some footballs here so we can get a young fan out here in Victory Lane with you, one of you tonight. Once again, sportsman drivers, please see Debbie Splain. Lights are out. We're ready to go here in the final heat race of the night. Billy Logeman and Chase Walker are going to lead the field to green. Mike Rutherford and Matt Hoffman will make up row number 2. Rutherford cuts to the inside of Walker. He's going to pick up third. Side-by-side battle for the 4th position. Not anymore. Patrick Kern, fantastic drive there. How about Danny Lane Jr.? What a drive out of the 29 into turns 3 and 4. Danny Lane's come from the back of the field to run in the 6th position, 1 lap in the books. At the front of the field, Billy Logeman sets the fastest lap of the race. Trouble for the 56. That car slowing dramatically in turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he's going to be able to get off the racetrack. He will not. Caution, flag will fly with 2 laps on the board. Trouble as well for the 647 of Barry Shearer. He was running in the 4th position. So Barry Shearer's heat race will be over. They will push that car off the back straightaway. Also heading to the infield, the 56. Two laps on the board. We are ready to go back to green flag racing. Rutherford and Logeman get a great start. Patrick Kern does not come up to speed quickly. Chase Walker spins it. Danny Lane Jr. makes contact, loops it around. Caution is out. Once again, sportsman drivers, please see Debbie Splain. Got to get you lined up to throw the footballs out here for the kids. Sportsman drivers, please see Debbie Splain. Green flag back in the air once again. Patrick Kern again does not come up to speed. That bottles up the entire field behind him. The car seems to, once it gets going, it's okay. He just does not have any low-end power off the corner. Able to hold on to third. Currently in sixth, the 87 of Austin Graby. He's going to look inside of Johnny West for fifth. Move Johnny West back to the final transfer spot. Danny Lane now fighting with the 77H of Adam Harnish. Lane trying to get it wound up. He dives inside of Harnish down the back straightaway. Going to try to get inside of Chase Walker as well. Walker able to hold on to the spot, but they are still trailing Johnny West as we're at the halfway point. Patrick Kern just set the quickest lap of the race. 11:3.96. The 16P is humming. Keep our eye on that battle for the transfer. Danny Lane has gotten around Chase Walker on the outside with 3 laps remaining. Does he have enough time to get to Johnny West? Twin sticks at the start-finish line. Billy Logeman's lead over Mike Rutherford, 0.473 seconds. Patrick Kern able to hold on to the spot. Danny Lane is rapidly catching Johnny West. White flag in the air. 1 lap remaining. Big slider out of Austin Graby on Brent Shearer. Last chance for Danny Lane. Can he get it? Locked into the show. Big drive off at turn number 2. West tried to force him up into the outside wall. Lane's going to have the spot. Checkered flag is out. Billy Logeman gets the win over Mike Rutherford, Patrick Kern, Austin Graby, Brent Shearer, and Danny Lane Jr. Those 6 will transfer in. Johnny West, Chase Walker, Adam Harnish, Barry Shearer, and Matt Hoffman all head to the Consi. Heat racing is done. It is time now for the 125 and 4-stroke Consi. 6 will qualify. 13 will transfer. Sportsman drivers coming out, throwing the footballs into the stands for the kids. Head on down here by the turn 4 end, the flag stand side. See Mike Kreiser out here passing a ball out to one of the little kids out here in the stands. Nice job, Mike. So the 125s and 4-strokes will have their consolation race. We'll see how many come out for this one because there were a lot of cars that were banged up in the first feature race of the night tonight. A couple of cars also having issues in the heat races. 6 will qualify. 13 scheduled to take the green flag, and those 6 that are going to transfer will be led by Dick Huzzard and Eddie Nocera on the front row. Dylan Yanks and Austin Graby in row number 2. Jared St. John and Ron Young in row 3. Row 4 to the 11H of Holden Ekman and the 3 of Mike Miller. Row number 5, 3Y is Zach Young and the 19 of Matt Fernsler. Row number 6, the 13 is Shane Davis and the LR62 of Drayson Laser. All alone in row number 7, the 44 of Riley Simmons. getting the 125s and 4-strokes out on the racetrack for the Consi. I want to pass along a big thank you to Brian Dunlap. Brian, thank you for the kudos sent to the National Racing Network page. We'll be sure to share that one with the production crew. They do work hard out here, that's for sure. So once again, we'll see how many cars come out here. We do have more than 6, so we will take a green flag in this one, but only 6 are going to transfer out of the 13 cars starting lineup. Coming up next weekend, the biggest party of the year here at Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway. The Bud Spring Service Labor Day Shootout takes to the Newmanstown High Banks. 2 full days of racing starting earlier in the day. Check out ClydeMartinSpeedway.com for all the details on the schedule changes. But gates open at 1:30 p.m. each day. We should have cars on the racetrack by, I would imagine, 3:30 or so each day. So starting significantly earlier in the day. Saturday night will be the regular 4-division show, all with the wings on. Hyper Racing 600s, 270s, 125s and 4-strokes, and the Sportsman. Saturday night, we're going to run 5 divisions of racing, and all of it's going to be topless. Hyper Racing 600s, 270s, Sportsman 125s and 4-strokes, and we're going to add in the slingshots as well, and they're going to do a double feature next Sunday afternoon and into the evening. Slingshots have a makeup feature from 2 weeks ago that they will get made up next weekend. You don't want to miss the Friday night Aaron's Acres Cornhole Tournament as well. Very cool party that we have out here, turning into a little bit of an annual tradition. Lights are out. We're underway here in the Consi. Great start for Fast Eddie Nocera. He jumps out to the race lead over Austin Graby. Matt Fernsler slides to the inside of Dylan Yanks. They're going to battle side by side as we've also got a battle for the race lead. Trouble for the 56 of Dick Huzzard. That car slows off of turn number 2. He'll slide to the back of the field. Once again, 6 are going to transfer. Currently, that's the 3Y of Zach Young. Shane Davis catching in to the back of the 3Y just a little bit. We'll follow that battle for another corner or so. 3 laps down, 7 laps remaining. Dick Huzzard gets it off into the infield. See if they can get it far enough off to not need a yellow. We're beating and banging for the race lead. Austin Graby tried a little bit of right side romance on Eddie Nocera, not able to get it done. In fact, Matt Fernsler now catching up quickly. Shane Davis holds on to the 6th position. Jared St. John in the 22 is going to be fighting with Ron Young in turns 1 and 2. They are not gaining any ground on that final transfer spot. We are now past halfway. Eddie Nocera still holds on to the race lead over Austin Graby. Matt Fernsler, your top 3. Dylan Yanks starting to catch up to that triple threat at the top. Caution on the speedway. 1 car going around in turns 1 and 2. That is the 22 of Jared St. John going around. That car had an issue where it caught on fire earlier tonight. In fact, they had to dump one of the fire extinguishers on it. Took Jared a minute or so to catch his breath getting out of the race car. Man, hard hit over the hump inside of turns 1 and 2. Going to be a green-white checkered finish. First, they got to get Jared St. John's car off the racetrack. .270 consolation race. You're going to need to get up into the staging area. .270 consolation race into the staging area. You are on track in just a minute here. Green, white, checkered finish is coming. Green, white, checker finish coming for the final 6 spots in tonight's 125 and 4-stroke feature race. Green flag back out. Zach Young has the spot. We'll see if Ron Young or Jared St. John's going to have anything to say. Looks like they will not. It may take a little bit of trouble at the front of the field. Eddie Nocera holds on to the race lead. Matt Fernsler going to look to the inside. White flag is out. 1 to go. 3-car battle now for the race lead going into 1. Austin Graby gets inside of Nocera. Nocera going to fight back to the inside down the back straightaway. Not close enough to attempt to pass off at turn number 4. Matt Fernsler picks up the win over Eddie Nocera. Austin Graby, Matt Fernsler, Austin Graby, Dylan Yangst, Eddie Nocera, Shane Davis, and Zach Young pick up the final transfer spots. We have 2 cars in the parking lot that need to be moved, please. Owner of a black Ford Edge, Pennsylvania tag, LJR 3648. LJR 3648, a black Ford Edge, and a Pennsylvania tag, KBN 6598. KBN 6598. Got to say a big thank you to everybody helping to make the Race Chasing for Drivers and Fans Awards program possible here tonight. A couple of $25 awards went out to make-up feature winners from Hanley Livestock Hauling and Kenny Groff Trucking. The features tonight are going to pay 8th place. So the 8th place driver, if they have the Race Chasing stickers, will pick up $25 courtesy of Nocera Stoneworks, Ron Groff Trucking, Ken and Janet, and Hanley Livestock Hauling. Also, 4 random draw award winners will come from the heat race winners, will come courtesy of Kim's Creations, the National Racing Network, Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway, and Mike Knappenberger Photos. Nine cars currently on the racetrack for the Consi. 15 are scheduled to take the green. Here is once again the scheduled starting lineup. Charles Hellinger in the 13S and the 63 of Todd J. Adams will make up row number 1. 49W of Johnny West and the 4K of Trent Eberhardt in row number 2. Row 3, the 17J of Jared Imler and the 96W of Chase Walker. Row number 4, the 25 of Tom Landwehr and the 7L Chase Laser. Row number 5, the 77 of Adam Harnish and the 48 of Jonah Meck. Row number 6, the 8Z of Nate Gibble and the 647 of Barry Shearer. Row number 7, the 56H of Zach Collinger and the 5A of Anthony Yerger. And all alone in row number 8, the 21H of Matt Hoffman. This is about one of the shortest turnarounds you'll see for a class. So some of the 270s may take just a moment to get buttoned up back into the race cars and onto the starting grid. And as a reminder, folks, no intermission. For those of you that are watching the live stream, the broadcast is going to go offline and come right back on again. Just refresh your browser. Swipe down on your phone to get the latest at the top of your Facebook and YouTube feeds. You'll be able to find tonight's broadcast here from Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway. Ten laps the distance. Green flag is in the air. Charles Hellinger going to be your race leader. Under attack from Todd J. Adams off of turn 2. 3-wide battle for the third position. Johnny West has the spot. Jared Imler deciding discretion, the better part of valor. He slides out of the throttle, but he's going to start to tail back just a little bit. As Todd J. Adams comes around Hellinger. Oh, man, big hit into the outside wall for Chase Laser, but he keeps his foot in it. Comes around Imler, does it again down the front straightaway. The wing cap might say McLovin, but the kid is no joke, that's for sure. Chase Laser heads towards the front of the field. Jared Imler back to his inside as they head into 1. Going to battle Trent Eberhardt in the 4K. Eberhardt slides up the racetrack, just a little bit of contact with Laser down the backstretch. Laser comes around the outside. Tom Landwehr down to the inside of Eberhardt through turns 1 and 2. Cross flags this time by the battle. Still hot and heavy at the front of the field as well between Todd J. Adams and Charles Hellinger. This one's all about the transfer position, though. Right now, Tom Landwehr has it. He is under attack from Trent Eberhardt. Eberhardt got, oh man, little bit of a bobble off of turn number 4. Opens up the door for the 8Z and Nate Gibble. Gibble comes around Eberhardt, gets to the high side. Eberhardt going to fight back to the inside. Now Nate Gibble going high, trying to get around Tom Landwehr. He's going to cross him over to the inside. Oh, big dive into the corner by Nate Gibble. Landwehr slides back a couple of spots. Move Nate Gibble into the final transfer spot. White flag is out, 1 lap to go. Fantastic battle at the front of the field as well. Checkered flag is out this time. Todd J. Adams picks up the win over Charles Hellinger, Johnny West, Chase Laser, Jared Imler, and Nate Gibble. Those will be the final cars to transfer in to tonight's race. Trent Eberhardt, Adam Harnish, Tom Landwehr, Anthony Yerger, Chase Walker, Jonah Meck, Barry Shearer, Zach Hollinger, and Matt Hoffman all fail to qualify. So with that, the qualification broadcast is going to go off air. We'll be right back because it is feature time. You're watching Race Night at the Clyde here on the National Racing Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who are joining us on the National Racing Network live feed, thank you for joining us. It is feature time here at the Clyde. Here is the starting lineup. 21 cars will make up the starting grid. 21 cars on the grid here for tonight's Sportsman feature race. Starting all alone in row number 11, the 26B of Shane Sowers. Row number 10, starting in the 20th position, the 5A of Anthony Yerger. Starting in 19th, the 32 with Jack Redkay. Row number 9, the 23K of Courtney Cup will start 18th, and the 36S of Steve Smith Sr. will roll off in position 17. Starting in row number 8, the 22S of Brett Scully and the 15 of Robert Shanneman. Row 7, the 13B of Matt Yo will start in the 14th position, 13th for the 8 of Michael Spadafora. Row 6, 21V, David Ravel lines up 12th, and in the 11th position, the 26 of Corey Schmuck Jr. Your top 10 starters start in row number 5, with the 21 of Toby Blumenshine in 10th, and the 647 of RJ Rossi rolling off in the 9th position. Starting 8th outside of row number 4, the 5 of Brett Cronrath, and to his inside in 7th, the 9G of Jamie Flickinger. Row number 3, starting in the 6th position, the 53S of Shannon Slaughter, and leading off the top 5, the number 88 of Billy Logeman. Row number 2 will have the 3S of Jeremy Eisenhower and the N8 of Nate Gibble starting in the 3rd position. And on the front row, starting 2nd, the 77 of Mike Kreiser, and on the inside and on the pole, the 4 of Mike Miller. 21 cars scheduled to take the green flag in tonight's Sportsman feature, and it is a pleasure once again to be joined by Bradley Brown. Bradley, for any of our viewers who might not have been with us earlier, I believe this is going to be your last night in the booth with us.
Yeah, this is going to be my last night. I got 4 great features ahead of us, and I'll be back in them next week.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. We've missed having the High-Sider out on the racetrack here over the last several weeks, and this Sportsman feature should be pretty fun. The inversion pill was 7, and a guy like Jamie Flickinger, who he's not a regular at the front end of the field every week, earned the right to start on the pole, and then they invert him back to 7th. It's about the luck of some of the guys here, but we've got some really good cars that are going to be coming from that kind of middle of the front half of the field.
Yeah, I call it the luck of the draw. I'm never good at it. If they're going to draw 12, I'm usually going to be starting 12th. It's also fun to start 12th, especially when you have a good car and you're competitive every week. They make you earn it a little bit. You go out and win every heat race and start in the front 4 rows. It's not really that fun. It's not fun for the fans. So it does work out in that sense. Sometimes it does play out like this, where there's guys that really could be starting up front, and any other week they would be. They had a good heat race, and they're again back towards the back of the pack.
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of that throughout the night here. The 5 was the inversion pill for the Hyper Racing 600s coming up next. Same thing for the 125 and 4-strokes. We're going to end the night with an 11-car inversion for the 270s. That one is going to be a blast to watch as well. What have you noticed? We talked about it a lot during the qualifications, or the earlier features, I should say. The track has certainly changed, but the track prep was actually really helped out by the rain shower we had.
Yeah, the rain helped out a ton. I was actually talking to Joey Keppel, the track guy, and he said we needed a little more. If it was a little more rain, he could have done a little more with the track. But the bottom, by the time he got out there, was already drying up. And there just wasn't enough water to do a whole lot without bringing water in the water truck. And he just didn't have time for that and felt the need for it. So, yeah, the track is definitely got a lot more grip in it than it did. You can still see that little bit of slick there on the bottom, and that's making it a little more interesting.
Trouble. They were getting ready to go racing here, and then trouble for the 32 with Jack Redkay. That car gets into the infield. We'll see if he's going to be able to fire up. It looks like, yep, they're going to open up the gate. And the 32 with Jack Redkay will likely be a DNF. There is not an opportunity to work on these cars. Teams do not have the chance to work on the cars. Basically, you got to be ready to go once the lights go out. If you're not on the racetrack, it's kind of a tough luck deal. Bradley, we look at the front of the field here, and Mike Miller had a fantastic week 1 week ago down here. Mike Kreiser picked up his first win in the Sportsman Division a week ago. Two very heavy hitters at the front of the field here. Like you said, basically lucked out into a front row starting spot.
Yeah, they're probably going to be hard to beat, especially starting up front. Mike Miller, he's just so consistent on the bottom. Mike Kreiser coming off a championship last year. You got Billy Logeman running the 88 tonight, so that's a change up in drivers, and we'll see how he can do in that.
Yeah, we've seen Nick Skias win in that car this year. We've seen Jesse Maurer win in that car this year. We'll see if Billy Logeman can do the same thing here. Green flag is in the air. We are underway in the Sportsman feature at the Clyde. Good start for Mike Miller. He's going to be your race leader going into turn one. Kreiser all over his back bumper. Almost 3 wide off of turn 2. Jeremy Eisenhower got up towards the outside wall. Logeman gets to his inside. Here comes the 21 of Toby Blumenshine. What a drive there. A little bit of a bang into Jamie Flickinger. Trouble for the N8. He goes around, up and over. Caution is on the Speedway. 2 cars upside down, at least on their side anyway. Yeah, looks like the N8 and 8 Gibble and the 3S of Jeremy Eisenhower, the cars that went over, they were right at the front of the field. Looks like we may have gotten a lap in. Is the car on its side. So the 13B of Matt Yo gets pushed out of the way and cleared down to the inside. Corey Schmuck Jr. should be able to push off as well. We'll see the EMTs out checking on the 3S of Jeremy Eisenhower. The N8 of Nate Gibble. So the N8 of Nate Gibble able to, looks like he's going to be able to refire here. We'll see if the same will hold true for the 3S of Jeremy Eisenhower. Michael Kreiser had the quickest lap of the race on lap number 1. Everybody going to be kind of in that same generic window, that mid-12 second bracket, until you really start to get back towards the back end of the field. Lights are out. We're doubled up and ready to go. Back to green flag racing. Miller and Kreiser on the front row. Skias and Blumenshine in row 2. We are back underway. This is going to be a great 4-car battle at the front of the field. Miller able to hold on to the spot. Here comes Blumenshine looking to the inside of Skias going into 3. Has to grab the binders just a little bit. That lets Skias come back in front. In fact, Jamie Flickinger now going to try to work to the outside of Blumenshine off at turn number 2. Good drive for Blumenshine, able to hold on to the spot. Keep your eye on the 21V, that red car, silver wings of David Ravel, just behind Jamie Flickinger and Brett Cronrath, the race winner 1 week ago. Inside of Flickinger, trying to work his way into a top 5 spot. New race leader at the front of the field, Mike Kreiser. Holds on to the race lead. Billy Logeman runs second. Mike Miller now going to be battling with Toby Blumenshine for third. Great save by Courtney Cup down the back straightaway. Kreiser holding on to the top spot. Logeman closing quickly. Third, fourth, and fifth also battling. Seven laps in the book. Logeman, 0.6 of a second back of the race leader. Blumenshine looks to the inside of Mike Miller off of turn number 4. That's going to be the battle for the third and final podium position. Miller slides up the racetrack just a little bit in lap traffic. Blumenshine higher to the outside. Caution is out. Trouble for the 13B of Matt Yo. Oh, man. Wow, really tight confines off of turn 4. Mike Miller had to make a choice between leveling Matt Yo, hitting Toby Blumenshine, or stabbing on the brakes, close your eyes and hold on. He picked the latter, and it worked out for him. With 17 laps remaining, we are back under caution here at Lanco. And Bradley, in this one, it's been tough to almost decide where you want to look here. Mike Kreiser's been very good at the front of the field, but Billy Logeman's hanging tough with him. The battle for third, fourth, and fifth has been very good. And then you have Dave Ravel coming from who knows where back in the field to get towards the front.
Yeah, and then you also got to give Nate Gibble a shout out there. He's halfway through the field already, if not farther. Corey Schmuck making his way through pretty quickly. We're only 8 laps in. It could be anybody's race here yet. The track has opened up to a great race all around, and it gives everybody a really good chance at it.
Yeah, the other one that's going to be fun to watch is going to be Corey Schmuck. He started in the 11th position, currently running in 10th, but as we start to see the high line come in more and more, that's about the favorite spot he's going to want to be for the rest of this thing. Again, a bunch of heavy iron at the front of the field, making their way off at turn number 2. Green flag goes back in the air. Miller right on the back bumper of Kreiser, but Logeman's there as well. Billy Logeman looks to the inside for the race lead going into 1. Not close enough. Here comes Blumenshine to the outside. He's around Miller. Inside of Logeman. Caution is out. 1 car goes around in turn 2. It's the 8 of Michael Spadafora. So, Bradley, when it's pretty easy to tell Toby is amped up tonight. He is really ready to get after this thing. How frustrating is that you time it right, everything goes perfect, and then you see the lights blink on in front of you.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I know it happens to pretty much all of us at some point. Sometimes it happens to you a couple times in a race, and it really, really gets to you. You just got to keep your head on and race your race, and it'll all play out in your favor in the end.
I would imagine it's fairly difficult to avoid the red mist on some of the nights like this where you've already run one feature if you were in the 270 or the 125s and 4-strokes. You've run the heat races. It's been a long night already for some of these drivers and teams, and I would imagine it's a pretty big fight to not get yourself overly wound up.
Yeah, you got guys out there, Billy Logeman and several others running double features, and now they had a makeup feature included, so they're usually running 1 or 2. Now they're running 4, some of them even 5 features tonight.
Whole lot of racing coming up here still. We're only on feature number 1 of the regularly scheduled program. Billy Logeman around Michael Kreiser. New race leader, Billy Logeman. Kreiser falls back to the second position, but he's not going quietly into that good night. Kreiser looks to the inside. Not quite close enough. Blumenshine also going to work on Mike Miller. Miller's running the high line. Blumenshine just a hair higher. Now he's going to try the big slider going into 3 and 4. Right up in front of the 4. Miller had to tap the brakes just a little bit, but he's going to dive back inside of the 21 going into 1. Slides up the racetrack in front of Blumenshine. Blumenshine's got to stab the brakes. Slide the car way sideways, loses a ton of momentum, and the position to David Ravel. Ravel now going to look to the outside of Mike Miller. Miller covers that position easily. Race leader off at turn 4, cross flags. We're halfway home. Blumenshine looks to the inside of Ravel. He is right there. You can't count Toby Blumenshine out yet. Trouble for the 15 of Robert Shanneman. He's slowed down the front stretch. Caution is out. Yellow flag is out for the 15 of Robert Shanneman. Hearing the caution flew before the race leader crossed the start-finish line. So Billy Logeman able to get around Mike Kreiser on the last restart. We talked about it already a little bit, but that Beer Shack Viper chassis number 88 is fantastically quick around this place. It seems like no matter who's driving it.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys like Jesse Maurer, he's not in a Sportsman or any car other than the 600 much anymore, and for him to get in a Viper car, it really shows that them things work well. Billy, he's used to running Vipers. He switched over to RTS a couple years ago, and he's getting back in a Viper and able to put it up front right away. So, again, it just shows that them cars are hard to beat.
Yeah, these are some fantastic race cars coming out of the Viper chassis shop, and we're seeing the proof is in the pudding here. You get them up in a good spot, and they're going to stay there. And we've also seen guys like Pete Skias in the 270s. They're able to come from front to back, too. So now they're getting doubled up, and we are going to be ready to go back to green flag racing. It is the halfway point. 13 laps in the books, 12 laps remaining. Is Mike Kreiser going to have anything here on the restart, do you think, Bradley?
He might. He might have just been out there just sailing and was caught sleeping. That could have been how he got past, and he could be like, okay, it's time to get going now. We're halfway through this race, and that's when it's really go time.
You can see it. These guys amped up. Green flag back in the air. Miller looks to the inside of Kreiser off of turn number 4. Logeman able to hold on to the race lead. Trouble off of turn number 4. They don't get a lap in, so we'll go back single file. The 22S of Brett Scully is stopped on the front straightaway facing turn 4. Looks like there may have also been some little bit of contact with the 8 of Michael Spadafora as well. Attention spectators, we have 2 vehicles that need to be moved immediately. Your cars will be towed if you do not move them. So let's route. We're ready to go back to green flag racing. It's going to be single file restarts the rest of the way out here, as this is the 5th caution flag of the race. Billy Logeman able to hold on to the advantage. Dave Ravel, he's going to work on Toby Blumenshine and Mike Miller. He wants the 3rd position. Blumenshine way down to the inside against the tires. Miller working that middle high groove. Ravel trying to get outside even higher. Dives it down off the corner. Tried to get the momentum up down the hill, just not enough to get inside of Miller on corner exit. At the front of the field, Billy Logeman with a 0.6 of a second advantage over Michael Kreiser. Rival looks again inside. Slide job 3 and 4. Miller with the crossover. Corey Schmuck Jr. on the charge as well. Ravel looks inside of Miller. He's going to try it again in 3 and 4. Brett Cronrath is right there as well. 17 laps in the books, 8 laps remaining. The battle is on for second as well. Toby Blumenshine all over the back bumper of Michael Kreiser. Little soft slider in 1 and 2. New second place runner, Toby Blumenshine. Fantastic run for that driver. Started in the 10th position, now runs in second. Coming around to 5 laps to go, and if Blumenshine wants a part of the race leader, he's going to have to do it in a hurry because Billy Logeman has checked out. The lead was 2 seconds last time by. Matt Yo pulls it into the infield. His race is over. The gap down to 1.5 seconds. Logeman having to work some lap traffic. Bradley, we've talked about it before. When you're the second car through the traffic, sometimes it's a little bit easier. We may be seeing that play out.
Yeah, it is a little bit easier when you're running second in the lap traffic. There's not a whole lot there for him, so I think. Oh, we got.
Yeah, trouble for David Ravel off of turn number 4. Almost looked like that car fell out of gear because he slowed significantly. Yeah, now he's going to pull it off into the infield. Twin sticks are out, 2 to go. Tough break for David Ravel. Looking at the front of the field, Billy Logeman, your race leader, had 1.1 seconds. Now it's inside of a second with 1 lap to go. Time may just be running out on Toby Blumenshine. Toby sails it off into 3 and 4, but it's not close enough. Checkered flag in the air. Billy Logeman picks up the win over Toby Blumenshine. Michael Kreiser, Mike Miller, and Brett Cronrath sneaks around Corey Schmuck Jr. right at the line to claim the final top 5 finishing position. So we'll be right back here in just a minute. Top 3 are heading to victory lane. We'll take the 2-minute break. You're watching Race Night at the Clyde on the National Racing Network.
At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience in building and tuning, you can count on us to get you to the winner's circle. Whether it is diagnostics, sales, or service, 600cc Performance is your source for everything CC racing. Find out more at 600ccperformance.com.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I've taken 25 selfies in the last 10 minutes.
26.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway Victory Lane interviews. We'll start here with runner-up Michael Kreiser, or third place finisher, yeah. Toby Blumenshine, the runner-up in this one, but Mike, you started up front. You got to keep the car up front here. Good turnaround for the season, especially with the win last week.
Yeah, I was definitely shocked starting second right next to Mike there, and I didn't think I was going to be able to get by him, and I got by him pretty quickly. That 88 was definitely fast again. And then we had the 21 right there at the end. I thought for sure we were going to hold off for second, but didn't quite do it. But I'm glad for another top 3 finish.
Yeah, good way to keep the season rolling here. We'll swing down here. We'll pick up race winner Billy Logeman. By my count, you're the 3rd different guy to win in this car this season. Is this thing just good for everybody?
Yeah, I mean, the thing's got a heck of a motor, and the car just works pretty good. And I actually texted Nick, I think yesterday morning as a joke, to see if he needed a driver to put in victory lane, just busting on Jesse. And he said I had to ask the boss, and I really wasn't brave enough to ask that question, so she called me this morning.
This thing looked really good. You didn't get to start completely at the front, so you had to fight the traffic a little bit on the way through. How was it handling-wise?
It was pretty tight from the center off, but I could roll the top decent enough that the 77 wasn't getting off the bottom, and I had a heck of a restart even though I clipped the infield tire, and he must have messed up down here, or I just hit the line just right and got a good enough run and just tried to hold on after that.
All right, buddy. Congratulations on the win. Who do you got to thank?
I mean, first, Meg, I have to thank her, and Mark for wrenching on it all week, all day since I'm running another car here, and Nick for letting me run it.
All right, bud. Congratulations. Billy Logeman, your winner in the Sportsman Division tonight. We'll get him to pick our 50-50 ticket. Oh, we already got it. Here is your winning 50-50 ticket number. Before we call the winning 50-50 number here, we'll run down here. The guy earned the front of the field finish here. Toby, this car looked really quick, and what are your thoughts here on really a good run tonight?
Yeah, it was all right. I don't know. I haven't been racing for a while, personal issues, but it was nice to get back on the track. It's nice to pull off a good finish and maybe recoup some of the money I lost over the last 3 months.
All right, Toby, congratulations on the run to the front of the field here. Here's your winning 50-50 ticket number, 828-8626. Winning 50-50 ticket number, 828-8626. Head on up here to the tower. You can claim your winning 50-50. We are getting ready for the Hyper Racing 600s. As we get the 600s lined up out here on the front straightaway, it's time to pull our next Kids Club winner of the night, Zach Cattrall. Zach Cattrall. As we get ready to roll here with the 600 feature, Time to pick our next Kids Club winner, Zach Cattrall. Zach Cattrall, you'll get to come down and take a victory lane photo with your 600 Hyper Racing 600 feature winner. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 4 most famous words in motorsports. Drivers, start your engines! The inversion pill was 5 for the Hyper Racing 600s. We'll get you the starting lineup here in just a moment. But first, ladies and gentlemen, you can forget about the rest. You're looking at the very best, and we've got them 4 abreast. You won't have to wait. The ground's about to shake as the Hyper Racing 600s get set to go side by side and 3 wide at the Clyde. It's feature time at Lanco. 21 cars starting grid, 25 laps the distance. Here's how the lineup. All alone in row number 11, the 1 of Will Urkuski. Row number 10, the 3K of Cassidy Michael starts 20th, and the 17 of Brent Ely starts in the 19th position. Row number 9, the 3Z of Brent Shearer and the 11H of Holden Ekman will start in the 18th and 17th positions. Row number 8, the 16S of Brianne Whitmer and the 11Z of Zach Light starting 16th and 15th. Row number 7, the 1E of Aaron Espenshade and the 22K of Kyler Heine. Row number 6, the 2S of Mike Rutherford, and scratching out of the 11th position, the 15P of Chris Pansner. Your top 10 starters, the 42U of Tyler Ulrich starts 10th, and 9th inside of row number 5, the 5 of Heath Hanley. Row number 4, the 88 of Nick Skias lines up in the 8th position, and the 117 of Cody West starts in position number 7. Row number 3, the 2SX of Mikey Smith and the 44 of Zach Beeler start in the 5th and 6th positions. Starting 4th, the 71 of Brian Kramer and the 4S of Johnny Smith. On the front row, the 24T of TJ Grieve and the 51 of Chris Gerhardt. So, Bradley, the inversion pill was 5, which would have put Zach Beeler on the front row, but he's only going to start inside of row number 3. A lot of heavy iron at the front of the field. TJ Grieve has dominated here, and guys like Mikey Smith was lightning quick 1 week ago until the motor quit on him.
Yeah, this class is full of a lot of fast cars, and guys are not afraid to throw slide jobs and put it in places where they just barely fit. So we're in for a very exciting race. You got one of the best guys that run the bottom, starting on the pole, and then right outside of him is one of the top high-siders out there. So it's gonna put on a great show.
Yep, we got Heath Hanley starting in the 9th position. Mike Rutherford now starting 11th. Aaron Espenshade, Zach Light towards the back of the pack as well. This is going to be good. Green flag in the air. We are underway. 3-car battle for the race lead as they head into turn 1. TJ Grieve looks up to the outside. He's going to get around Chris Gerhardt. Caution flag is out. 1 car going around in the middle of turns 1 and 2. Looks like the 3K of Cassidy Michael, the car that goes around in turns 1 and 2. No laps on the scoreboard, so we're going to get a complete restart with the exception of the 3K. Cassidy only losing 1 spot from her 20th starting position. I would tend to think on a racetrack that's going to have a little bit of tackiness in it like this, we're going to see these guys from top to bottom and really every group starting to work well.
Yeah, they're really going to open it up here. This track is all but ideal for these guys tonight, and they're going to showcase it well.
Green flag is out. Oh, bumping and banging towards the back of the field. Couple of cars making contact. The 2SX of Mikey Smith. Slow. How did everybody keep it going? 1 car goes around. That is the 4S of Johnny Smith, I believe, going around. Still no laps scored. So we're going to line them up and do it again. And it's funny, Bradley, we've now had 2 attempts at the start, and we've seen 2 completely different ways of starting this race. TJ Grieve had a great start the first time, not so much the second. This really is anybody's race.
Yeah, Chris Gerhardt, he knows what he's looking at, and he knows TJ Grieve had a great run off of 2 on the first restart. So he decided he's jumping to the top right away. That seems like the place to be, and he made a quick decision on it, and yeah, it might have bunched the field up a little bit because nobody was expecting him to go to the top, but it worked in his favor, and I'm expecting him to probably do it again.
Yeah, it's a tough break for the 2SX of Mikey Smith. 2 weeks in a row now, he's out before we have even a handful of laps in the scoreboard, and that car is very, very quick. At this point, the kid just needs some luck.
Yeah, for being a guy that doesn't typically always run here, and to show up and put on a show the way he does and get to the front the way he is, if he just had a little bit of luck, I think we'd see him in victory lane several times.
Yeah, and they're actually going to have to get that car pushed off the racetrack. Since we don't have a lap in the books, the track rule says the car has to come off. So everybody is now doubled up. So as soon as they get the 2SX off and the gate closed, we're going to be ready to go back to green. In fact, he's able to fire the car up himself and hopefully can drive it off. So the field's going to get the 1-to-go signal this next time by the start-finish line. Once again, Chris Gerhardt and TJ Grieve at the front, and this is our last chance to get the start of this race in. We're already 4 minutes in. We've spent more time now getting the start going than we spent on both heat races combined.
Yeah, the way the nights go, and this is usually a night that I'll look up at the sky and see if it's a full moon. It's just we're having trouble in every class tonight, and just everybody needs to gather their thoughts and calm down and just get some laps put down.
So much for calm down. Zach Beeler goes 3 wide on the jump right in the middle of turns 3 and 4. We are going to stay green off of turn number 2. One car slows off the corner but keeps it up. 1 lap in the books. We're under green. Chris Gerhardt holds on to a 0.3 of a second lead over TJ Grieve. What a dogfight back in the pack. Heath Hanley splits right up the middle between Nick Skias and Brian Kramer. Kramer fights back to the inside. This is the battle for the 4th position. Cody West going to come right with him. Skias slams the door just a little bit. West tramples down to the inside. Here comes Mike Rutherford. Where did he come from? That 2S is really hooked up on the bottom. And I tell you what, Bradley, for the tack that we saw in this racetrack in that last feature, I didn't think the bottom was going to be the place to be. Caution on the Speedway, trouble turn 2. 16 of Breanne Whitmer goes around and brings out the caution with 21 laps remaining.
Back to your comment about the bottom of the track. Yeah, they moved the tires in for the 600s, let them have a little bit more grip, the first few laps, you're going to see the bottom's a little slimy yet. And, once it comes in, you're going to find a lot of grip, and you're going to make a couple moves pretty quick before it goes away. It's not going to last long, and Rutherford was the one to capitalize on it there, and we'll see if it's still there here in the coming laps.
It's pretty interesting that you say that, because you think about it needing a few laps to get going. But we've already had that a little bit. With the aborted starts, they have been able to make the move to the inside. It'll be interesting to see how this widens out the rest of the way as this feature progresses.
Yeah, that was actually a good thing for the bottom for a couple extra pace laps. And guys starting on the bottom know, okay, we need to get the bottom run in as well as possible, or we're just going to slide around down here and be blown away by the guys on the top. So I'm sure they took advantage of the extra laps, ran the bottom in, got it good, and if they can hit the bottom, it's going to be very good for them. If you miss it, it's just a few inches to that black slick area. So yeah, I don't expect it to last very long. The top's going to be the dominant position and place on the track by the end of this race.
Green flag gets back in the air. Chris Gerhardt gets out to the good lead. TJ Grieve right there as well. Here comes Heath Hanley. He's going to try the inside in turns 1 and 2. Loses a little bit of ground to Grieve off the corner. Rutherford trying to hold in there as well as Skias. Rutherford slides up in front of Cody West. He's now inside the top 5 and charging towards the front. At the front of the field, Chris Gerhardt holds a 0.3 of a second lead over TJ Grieve. Top 6 now single file. First battle on the racetrack is going to be Nick Skias looking inside of Brian Kramer. Kramer falling back just a little bit. Skias moving from 8th up to the 7th position, fighting with Kramer. Everybody getting up around the top, and we've got a battle for the race lead. TJ Grieve all over the back bumper of Chris Gerhardt. Here comes the haymaker in 3. Gerhardt crosses them back over. Bradley, we talked about it a little bit. Slide job city turning into the Clyde. Big slider by Gerhardt. He takes the lead back. Grieve tries to stuff it in. Nothing coming there. They're going to trade sliders for 3rd as well between Heath Hanley and Zach Beeler. Mike Rutherford still catfishing the bottom and gaining ground. Race leader going to be hitting lap traffic this time into turn 1. 10 laps in the books. Still Gerhardt, Grieve, Hanley, Beeler, and Rutherford, your top 5. And you talked about it a little bit, Bradley. We knew the top was going to be the place to be, and we're seeing it now where you've got to be up around the outside of the racetrack.
Yeah, it came on quick. Everybody seems to have gotten up there now. There's a couple of the guys in the back still running the bottom. They're just not as comfortable on the top as everybody else. This is what the track's going to be like next week at the Labor Day Shootout. It is every year. This gives these guys a lot of practice on a track like this, and a lot of them can use it as their advantage. Zach Beeler's not here a lot. He's going to have a lot of good notes to go back and do his homework on for next week.
Trouble turn 2. The 22K of Kyler Heine goes around. And I think Chris Gerhardt can breathe a sigh of relief, because it was a total of 1/3 of a second from Gerhardt back to 3rd place Heath Hanley. Fighting lap traffic was costing the 51 dearly.
Yeah, on a track like this, you do not want to see lap traffic. Everybody's up on the fence, and they're in your line. There's no way around them except for a slider, or they mess up, and it's just tough to pass, even against lap cars that aren't going quite as fast as you. They really slow you up, put you in dirty air when you're trying to just keep momentum on the top. And that's what was a big benefit for TJ Grieve, and Heath Hanley, and even Zach Beeler was coming back into the picture pretty quick.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned the dirty air, because that may be the biggest factor, is just that you go from being out front, clean air, knowing how the car is going to react to. I would imagine small movements side to side of the car in front of you will drastically change how the wind hits that wing on the top of your race car.
Yeah, it changes a lot. It puts different pressures on different parts of the wing, and then it could get down in the left rear pretty hard, or hold it up a little bit extra going in the turn, and just it can make you so loose, tight. I mean, it makes it a handful.
10 laps remaining. We're back under green. Chris Gerhardt holds on to the race lead. He's back up to the top of the racetrack. TJ Grieve stays there. Rutherford looks inside of Zach Beeler. Grieve tries to get to the inside of Gerhardt. That's going to open the door for Hanley. Heath Hanley throws the slider in turns 1 and 2. Grieve bounces it off the fence. Hanley really got caught up in the slide. Zach Beeler going to come past as they enter turn 3. Cody West gets into the back of Mike Rutherford. West on the losing end of that deal as West now tries to fight back on Nick Skias. Battle for the race lead heating up off of turn number 4. TJ Grieve tried the slider, but he just wasn't there yet. Caution on the Speedway. 22 of Kyler Heine goes around again, this time in turns 3 and 4. Sounds like he may have had a little bit of help in going around. Down to 7 laps remaining. Bradley, this is going to be one of the last shots at a double file restart. Chris Gerhardt elects to take the inside lane. It's worked for him all night so far, so I don't see any reason to change it up. But does it ever get in the back of your head when you know a guy like TJ Grieves on your outside?
It can. He's had him out there all race, and he's gotten away from him on 4 other occasions. So he's probably pretty confident he could do it again as long as he hits his marks. Zach Beeler's up into 3rd now, and he's got a shot at it. I mean, he's starting inside of that 2nd row, and that's a big deal, especially on a track like this. If he can get past TJ on the restart and up in front of him and get to the top in a hurry, he's going to secure 2nd very quick.
That'll be one of the interesting things to watch is how does Zach Beeler get the drive off the corner? He's right there, but oh man, even Heath Hanley comes past the 44. Hanley gets down to the inside. Grieve all over the back bumper of the race leader into 3. Slide job for the race lead, turns 3 and 4. Gerhardt crosses them back over down the front straightaway. 19 laps on the board, 6 laps remaining here in the Hyper Racing 600 feature. Beeler slides back just a little bit. Heath Hanley rapidly catching on TJ Grieve and Chris Gerhardt for the win. Gerhardt slides up the racetrack. Grieve has to grab the binders. That lets Hanley right down onto the tail tank. Oh, Hanley smacks it off the outside wall, keeps his foot in it, opens the gap back up for Grieve. Now 3.5 laps to go as they enter turns 3 and 4. Rutherford looks back down to the inside again. He's hoping to find the grip down there, but it's just not coming. 3 to go. TJ Grieve within a car length of race leader Chris Gerhardt at the front of the field. We'll see if TJ Grieves can have anything to go with twin sticks in the air from Chief starter Mike Fry. Grieve with the slider in 3 and 4. Big crossover by Gerhardt. White flag is out, 1 lap remaining. Hanley now looks to the inside of Grieve in 1 and 2. Hanley slides up in front. Grieve gets bottled up. Grieve to the inside, off of corn 4. Caution, Grieve goes around. Checkered flag is out. Chris Gerhardt. Hearing Chris Gerhardt took the checkered flag, as did 2nd place Heath Hanley. Chris Gerhardt gets the flag to flag win here in the Hyper Racing 600s. Heath Hanley comes home 2nd. TJ Grieve will fall from the podium. To a 18th place finish. What a heartbreaker for TJ Grieve. But Mike Rutherford's going to be promoted onto the front straightaway, I do believe. We'll see what timing and scoring officially says. While they do the mandatory rev check on race winner Chris Gerhardt, we'll head downstairs for the Victory Lane interviews here in just a moment.
more yet, right? Damn it. I was hoping only one, but I figured two. Darn it. How's your back? Still sore? It's still... Is it... I was going to say, does it cramp up and then let go? Oh, it hasn't really let go. It's just cramping up.
Doing the wing dance, getting the cover of Area Auto. Give it up for Chris Gerhardt. We'll start our Victory Lane interviews down here with Heath Hanley. We've got to talk to you a lot down here. The car was really good. It just seemed like you didn't quite have the room to get past Chris on this one.
Well, yeah. Well, I couldn't get by TJ was the first problem, and then I cleared him on the last lap, and he tried to slide, and he was like, oh, crap, and he got himself into a little bind there. We were really good. I think we were probably faster. I don't know if TJ would have got out in open track. I think we were faster than Chris, but tonight it was just tough to pass. He was trying to get him into traffic or take him to the end of the race and try to make a move. He did a good job. TJ did, working him, but Chris was good. He deserved to win. He had the best car tonight, so congratulations to Chris and his team. I know they bust their butts, and it's nice to see him win one.
It's a fantastic run again. You got to be confident heading into next weekend's Labor Day shootout. Who do you got to thank?
Obviously, Chris Snyder, he gives me an awesome race car to drive. Hyper Racing, Spar Racing Engines, Ames Construction, Zartman and Erosion Control, Hoosier Tire, Mid-Atlantic, JP Racing. I'm sure I'm forgetting some people, but we finally got her back. We made a little change again, and we were really good tonight. I was happy with the car, and I think we'll be good next week.
All right, Heath, congratulations once again. Let's swing down here. Oh, well, we'll turn around here. Pick up third-place finisher Mike Rutherford. You were hauling already out the back end. Were you ready? What did you think when you saw TJ sitting broadside to you there coming to the flag?
I figured I was going to plaster him. I wiped the whole right side of my car out going by him, but we managed to get by just enough. Had to run back real quick and ask for some changes on the other car because the track changed a lot more than we thought too. But congratulations to Heath. He came up through pretty well, and I know Chris has been struggling a little bit, so it's nice to see him get a win.
All right, Mike, congratulations. We'll let you get ready for the next one here, and then we'll run down. Now we can pick up race winner Chris Gerhardt. One of those ones for the side of the race car for you. You were really quick. We knew the high line was going to be good. You kind of had to be like chomping at the bit, ready to go once you saw that.
Yeah, we geared to be in a dogfight with TJ. We know how TJ's super aggressive, super fast. So that was my only end game, was to be able to drag him off the corner. I just got to say, I'm super happy that we won, but I'm super pissed that my boy ain't here tonight. He would have loved it. I can't thank my dad. He's everything on the car. We have nothing besides me and him, and bust our ass all year, suck a little bit, and tonight it feels really good to be good.
And now you've got a whole lot of momentum heading into a big two-day show next weekend. You ready to go? You ready for Friday night to be here?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'd like to run both. I told him maybe we'll think about running the wingless. Didn't end up so well last time we did it, but after tonight, I don't see why not.
I would say to you, who do you got to thank, but you say it's a two-man show, and it's the Put Your Name Here special on the side of the car. But who do you need to thank? There are a lot of people that make this stuff happen.
I got to thank Randy West. He built a badass car. Best service. It's right down the road, so I can't beat it. Sean Seaford, IP Motors, built a hell of a rocket. Frank Shocks, and that's what we got.
All right, congratulations once again, Chris Gerhardt. Two more features coming up here. We're going to roll them out onto the Speedway in just a moment. For those of you watching on the live feed, you're watching Race Night at the Clyde on the National Racing Network.
At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience in building and tuning, you can count on us to get you to the winner's circle. Whether it is diagnostics, sales, or service, 600cc Performance is your source for everything CC racing. Find out more at 600ccperformance.com.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I've taken 25 selfies in the last 10 minutes.
26.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you watching on the live stream, welcome back. In the hustle to get everything rolling again after the rain delay, we forgot one of the most important parts of the evening. At this time, we need to ask everyone to please rise, and gentlemen, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Once again, it is time to go racing here at the Clyde. Coming up now, the second feature of the night for the 125 and four-stroke division. Well, let's get you the starting lineup as they get ready to roll the cars out onto the racetrack. 5 was the inversion pill that was drawn. 5, the inversion pill for tonight's 125 and four-stroke regularly scheduled feature. Starting in row number 12 will be the 3Y of Zach Young rolling off in 24th, and the 13 of Shane Davis will start in the 23rd position. Row number 11, the 112 of Dylan Yankst, and the 62 of Eddie Nocera. Starting in row number 10, position number 20, the 6 of Austin Graby, and the 19 of Matt Fernsler. Row number 9, the 44X of Alex Lucas, and starting in 17th, the 4 of Sam Borger. Starting 16th, the 28 of Kyle Lindsay, and the 24 of Logan Road. Starting in the 7th position, the 77G of Isaac Graby, and the 78 of Sarah Borer. Row number 6, the 76 of Justin Harrington, and the 7L of Chase Laser. Row number 5, your top 10 starters. Rolling off in position number 10, the 26 of Tyler Martin. Starting in 9th, the 46 of Mike Glass. Row number 4, the 5 of Terry Ellix, and the 55C of Ron Crossley. Row 3 of Mike Miller, and the 16 of Marty Bryan. Row 2, the 29 of Brandon Shearer, and the 25W of Nate Weidman. And on the front row, the 99 of Cliff Bryan, and the 12 of Brent Shearer. Bradley, some interesting names here in this one. A little bit of controversy with the finish of last week's race. And when we talked to race director Doug Michael about it, basically he felt that the spin involving Sam Borger and Brent Shearer was basically a racing deal of a lap car almost being in the way a little bit. What were your thoughts on it as you watched it and kind of had a week to think about it?
Yeah, I did a lot of thinking about it and rewatched it several times. It's a hard call. I mean, when a guy's going for a win and he gets tied up with a lap car, you're going to mess a guy's night. You're going to ruin his whole night by doing that. There's times for the call to be made. That was one I probably would have. Nothing against the race director. I mean, they have the hardest job here at the track. Sam was keeping a good line. I know he was smooth running the bottom. That's where he was when it happened. Being a race leader, you got to know and know you're the elite in the class. You're the senior in the class. I know Brent's much younger than Sam, but he's been racing a lot longer, and he knows where guys are, what he should do. You're leading the race. It's your call, and he made a mistake, and I think he has fessed up to that mistake and apologized and everything. And I talked to Sam, and he said, yeah, let bygones be bygones. Things happen, and this is a different week. We'll see what happens tonight. Brent starts on the pole, and we'll see if he can get himself a second win in a row. And then we have Cliff Bryan. I mean, he's one of the top four-stroke guys out there, and he's starting on the outside. So we're lined up for a really good race.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. One of the storylines I think we would have to consider is the 25W and Nate Weidman. He wrecked very, very hard in the first feature race of the night. Did well in the heat race, so it looks like they got the repair done, but 25 laps is a completely different animal from an 8 or 10 lap heat race. Also, the 16 of Marty Bryan and the 3 of Mike Miller. That third row is going to be very stout. Mike Miller running. Yeah, that's the 3H of Zach Hollinger, actually, that's running in that 6th position, not the 3 of Mike Miller that we're seeing on our lineup sheet here. But Zach Hollinger has been very quick in that number 3. He's going to be fun to watch. Marty Bryan, always an animal around this place. Green flag is out. We are underway here in the 125 and 4-stroke second end of the double dip. Side-by-side battle for the race lead. Brent Shearer tries to chop off Cliff Bryan, but we're going to have a new race leader off the corner. Cliff Bryan slides out up against the outside retaining wall. Put that DC Eager number 99 and Cliff Bryan to the top spot. Oh, a little bit of contact with Shearer. Shearer able to keep the car going. We'll see if the car regains the fire. It does, but Brent Shearer will head all the way to the back. Keep your eye on that car now, folks. Brent Shearer, he's quick. Fantastically quick around this place. In fact, it'll be fun to watch him come to the front. Dueling now towards the front of the field. How about the 55C of Ron Crossley? Battling right with Zach Hollinger and Marty Bryan. the six-shooter running up against the high side of the outside wall. Marty Bryan comes around the 55C. He'll clear Crossley, and he's going to bring the 46 of Mike Glass with him. Oh, one Glass up into the outside wall. Caution flag is out. Try to see what happened there. May have been, yeah, it was a little bit of contact from the 55C of Ron Crossley. So Mike Glass going to head down towards the infield. It looks he should be able to push back off. Same cannot be said for the 77G of Isaac Graby. That car looks like it will be out of the race. He's going to head for the outside turn 4 pit exit gate.
Hey, Chris, we have a very similar storyline here than we did in the first round of their features. Brent Shear going to the back early in an incident, and also Justin Harrington coming from 12th. I think this is the second time tonight he started 12th, and we can see if he can get to the front again.
Yeah, Justin Harrington has been a treat to watch around this place tonight. Already running in the 10th position. He's only gained a couple, but we're only a couple of laps into this one as well. And we'll see. Restarting in the 10th position is going to put him on the outside. We saw in the 600s you had to be on the high side for this one. There is nowhere else that Justin Harrington would rather be.
Yeah, with the dropout of Mike Glass there, he's going to start inside. That's probably not where he's wanting to be. I know he was running the top before that caution. It seems like a lot of guys have gone to the top in this one. In the last one, he was the only one up there, only one that found it and used it to his advantage. So he's going to have a little bit more of cars in front of him, if you will, to maneuver around and see if he can do it.
Oh, big contact at the front of the field. Zach Hollinger and Nate Weidman making contact. Caution flag is going to come out. .55C, Ron Crossley comes to a stop in turn 2 as well. So the 25W and Nate Weidman will go to the rear for stopping on the racetrack. The 3H of Zach Hollinger penalized and sent to the rear for the contact with Nate Weidman on the restart. And Bradley, this Groundhog Day of days, it seems like, is continuing here. The theme of fast cars heading to the back of the pack is going to continue. Zach Hollinger is very quick, and he's going to have to head to the back. Nate Weidman is already back there after coming to a stop. We're going to shuffle the entire top 10 here in a big way.
Yeah, and it's all playing an advantage of, again, Justin Harrington. He's not had the greatest start, didn't get as many cars as we would expect right off the bat. But there he is. He's got 2 more picked off that quick, and he knows that it's definitely doable at this point.
Yeah, he's now rapidly getting into a position where, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's in the 6th position. I don't know that you're going to pick off 5 in a lap, but it's not unheard of to get 3 or 4, and then you're right there battling with the leader. It's just how much ground do you lose to Cliff and Marty Bryan before you get there?
Yeah, to have the Bryan brothers being first and second in this race, it is going to make it 10 times harder than it was in the first one. They are 2 of the best out there, 2 of the most aggressive out there. And that's the thing that I'll give Justin is he's aggressive, so are the Bryans, but they can keep their nose clean. Some of these other guys are aggressive, and they make a little bit of mistakes that cost them a lot of positions. These guys get crossed up, and it takes a lap or 2 to get back up to speed, and you lose a lot of ground. Where those 3, I mean, they can keep their cars singing and put them where a lot of cars can't be, but they can do it.
They are really, really impressive to watch here, and a lot of credit, I would say, also has to go to Dad Clifford and Clifford Racing Engines. There's at least 3 of them in the field here tonight. I know the 44X has one as well. The motors are good. The cars are good. A lot of family experience there. this one's going to be fun, and we can't ignore the two guys that are splitting all of this up in Tyler Martin and Chase Laser. These two are fun to watch as well.
Yeah, they're definitely having a good night, and I really hope that they can finish strong, and both of them deserve it and need a good finish. And I will also, I think, Dad Cliff, he's brought these four-strokes back to life. We talked a couple years ago about they were going to be extinct, and he's brought it upon himself to build some motors and help some guys out and get this two-division combination we have now, and it's become one of the biggest classes here at Lanco.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch, and this one is really going to be cool. And don't look now, but Brent Shearer is now restarting in the 7th position. So head to the back early, have your troubles, let everybody else make the mistakes and help you to the front. Green flag back in the air. Little bit of a bottle up for Terry Ellicks. Actually, he's got the cone under him, so several other cars will now run it over. Terry Ellicks, I believe, will be the violator. So the 5 of Terry Ellicks will have to head to the rear for a cone restart violation. Rules for the cone are you must restart to the outside of the cone, you cannot hit the cone, and you cannot pass before the cone. So it's basically designed to keep everybody in line and prevent some of the kind of silly knuckleheadedness that you might see. One of the interesting things about where we put the cone here, though, is it does leave that big dive bomb open if somebody doesn't make that quick move off the line.
Yeah, a lot of people, including myself, use that to our advantage. You'll have a guy in front of you that thinks he's wound up and can get to the top, and I've done it myself, and it just didn't work in their favor. Just maybe a little bit of tire spin, just didn't hit the corner quite right, didn't hit your shifts the way you wanted, and the guy on the bottom can throw it down there and get underneath you.
Kind of like what Justin Harrington just tried to do on corner entry to Chase Laser. Field looks clean off of turn number 4. Harrington down to the inside of Laser, down the back straightaway. Still 20 laps remaining to go in this one. Harrington cleanly around Laser. He's going to bring the 29 of Brandon Shearer with him. Brent Shearer and Austin Graby there as well. Now Laser going to get up against the outside wall. Everybody else heading back to the inside line. Cliff Bryan Jr. absolutely checking out on this field. The lead was 1.2 seconds the last time by. Call it a second and a half. This time by the start-finish line is 17 laps to go. Several cars starting to make their way towards the front. One of those, Alex Lucas, started in the 18th position. He now runs in 11th. Shane Davis started 23rd, now up into the 15th position.
Justin Harrington making a couple of runs around the top and then driving under the 26. It looks like he'll clear him on the top this time by, and he sets his sights on Marty Bryan.
Yeah, that 76 machine, when he gets it hooked up on the top, it is a really fun race car to watch because you'll see some of the cars, they kind of bounce around a little bit when you get up high. It seems like Justin's car just absolutely grips and sets in.
Yeah, and it looks like Marty watched his brother Cliff run the top there, and Marty went to the top as well. And you're not going to get Marty back off the top now. That's where he'll stick most of the time, and he'll know it works. And it looks like him and Justin Harrington are shaping up to have a really good battle here.
Yeah, this one's going to be fun to watch because Cliff Bryan Jr. is long gone. The lead now over 2.5 seconds as they make their way off at turn number 4. The gap is significantly shorter from second to third. In fact, Justin Harrington now down inside of a car length as they make their way through turns 3 and 4 with 11 laps remaining. Now 10 to go as Cliff Bryan is past the start-finish line. Justin Harrington got bottled up just a little bit on the outside by lap traffic. This really is where the duel's going to come into play. Oh, big move by Justin Harrington. Some right side romance on Marty Bryan. He picks up second. We'll see if he's going to be able to set sail and catch Cliff, but Cliff Bryan Jr. knifing his way through traffic. We would jokingly call Marty Bryan the six-shooter. Cliff Bryan, I think we have to call the surgeon. The kid, as young as he is very calculated in where he puts his race car, and it seems like he's able to avoid a lot of the big trouble stuff. Oh, trouble down the front straightaway. One car hard into the outside wall. That's the 29 of Brandon Shearer.
That is exactly what Justin Harrington wanted to see.
Yeah, 7 laps to go just before the automatic single file restarts with 5 to go. Justin Harrington's going to have a free crack at Cliff Bryan Jr. on this restart.
Yeah, we haven't had a restart with Justin Harrington running second yet, or even anywhere close to Cliff. So this is going to really show if Justin's car is that much stronger than the guys that he's gotten by, or if just a long run gave him a little bit of an advantage with track position and knowing which line to be in. He got there now, so we'll see if he can make this a real good race.
To get back to the point we were making right as the caution flag came out, talking about jokingly calling Marty the six-shooter and Cliff, you got to call the surgeon. Are there many kids that are that young that they kind of have that racing IQ head on their shoulders?
You don't see it very often. They are going to turn out to be very, very good race car drivers, and they already are. I mean, they're half, sometimes a quarter of the age of these guys, and they're out there and just putting on one heck of a show.
Yeah, the Bryan brothers have been a treat to watch, and I think a little bit with some of the lack of points and that kind of stuff, it gives everybody a little bit of freedom to kind of run where you want and when you want. But they've been a fixture here over the last handful of years, and it almost makes me think of a guy like a Kyle Spence, where once they get up into that top echelon, the next step is right there to make. It seems like a very logical progression.
Yeah, I would be surprised if you don't see one of these guys taking the next step into a bigger car. I think Cliff has had some runs in Wingless Super Sportsman, and just see what these guys can do in other cars and where it takes them. I mean, they're young, they have a lot of growth, and they got great guys backing them that can take them wherever they please.
Going to be fun to watch. Leaders restarting on the inside, the 99 DC Eager. Entry of Cliff Bryan Jr. will have the Alfred and Sam's Bakery. Number 76 of Justin Harrington to his outside. Green flags in the air. Bryan quickly to the inside. Marty Bryan fending off a hornet's nest. The 6 of Austin Graby looks to the inside. Tyler Martin there as well. They are beating and banging back through the pack, but I think there's your answer, Bradley. Cliff Bryan Jr. checks out on Justin Harrington. Justin's going to have to run that high side if he wants a shot.
Yeah, he's gotten right to the top, and you got to build momentum up there. It's going to take him a lap or two, and you might really see him cut into that advantage that Cliff has, and there it is. It looks like he's cut maybe 2 car lengths off that.
Caution flag is out. One car goes around in turn 2. That is the 19 of Matt Fernsler. I believe he went around off the 46. But we have had this issue tonight where, is it the wing or is it the tail tank number on those cars? So I believe that's Mike Glass running towards the back of the pack. Towards the front in the 6 is Austin Graby. So there's Mike Glass in the 46. He's heading back up towards the front of the field. 5 laps to go. It's going to be a single file restart now here, Bradley. And at this point, is there anything that Justin Harrington can do different?
I mean, as much as he wanted the caution before this one, he did not want to see this one. Like I said, he needs to build momentum, and he can't be having restart after restart. He needs these last 5 laps to go clean and green, and hopefully he can get a good start and momentum in a hurry, and maybe make one shot last lap pass. If we're lucky, we could get one of those real close finishes at the end, but he's going to need a lot of things to go in his favor.
Yeah, this one is it's been in hand for Cliff Bryan since he got to the race lead. Got to give the big shout out to Brent Shearer. He's back up to the 9th position after heading to the back early. Green flag is out. Harrington got a much better start that time. He's going to be within a car length of Cliff Bryant at the line. Austin Gravy looking to the inside as well. Here comes Marty Bryant, high, wide, and handsome off of turn number 2. Rapidly catching up to Austin Gravy. Lap number 21 on the board. The lead was half a second the last time by for Cliff Bryant Jr. We'll see what it is this time. It's up to 3/4 of a second. We're down to 3 laps to go. In fact, it's going to be the twin sticks from Chief Starter Mike Fry this next time by. Caution on the Speedway. Caution for debris in turn 1. Our French nemesis Jacques Debris makes the appearance up just to the outside of the corner entry groove going into turn 1. So it's going to be a green-white checkered, and Bradley, we talked about Justin needing this to go green to checkered, and it's really going to take a mistake out of Cliff Bryant at this point.
Yeah, I was actually surprised not to see Justin hit the top again. He must not have felt it was that good. He definitely was cutting into the margin there about 2 laps in, and I think he might have chose wrong on that one, and that might have cost him the race. We'll see what he does here. He's got 2 laps to go, and if he gets another good start and does choose the top, that momentum might carry him just enough, but it's not looking like that's going to be the case.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting to see how the restart that time was significantly better. The prior restart, Cliff had probably a car length and a half, almost 2 car length lead as they got off of 4. We were going into turn 1 and they were still inside of a car length. I mean, is it something as simple as just getting it a little bit more wound up? That could be the difference?
Yeah, that's going to be the difference with these guys. I mean, they're both the elite of the elite in this class. And to beat each other, it's like a Jason Swavely running against Mike Rutherford. I mean, you're really going to have a mistake or you're going to have to time it just right. And both of these guys are capable of that, but both of them don't make very many mistakes.
So down to 2 laps remaining here. Cliff Bryant Jr., your race leader, started in the 2nd position. Justin Harrington, running in 2nd, started in the 12th position. Austin Gravy, driving the 6th, runs in 3rd, started in 20th. Marty Bryan, running in 4th, started in the 5th position. And Tyler Martin, who runs in the 5th position, started 10th. For what looks like a single groove racetrack around the bottom, you're passing everywhere around this place. It's just a matter of knowing where to look and seeing the good racing. Lights are out. We're ready for a 2-lap shootout. Green flag in the air. We're back underway. Justin Harrington got a good restart. Yellow is out. The cone rule strikes again. Hearing it was the 112 possibly of Dylan Yanks that may have caught the cone on the restart. Yeah, the 112 of Dylan Yanks is going to head to the back. It's funny to think about it, but this means there's another shot. So you're saying I got a chance. That's got to be what's going through Justin Harrington's head.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to try something different every restart he gets to see what works the best, and he might go back to one of his other restarts and say, hey, that's where I was the closest, and I'm going to try it again and see if maybe I can ease underneath of him and maybe get under him by even just a wheel is all he needs. Do a little bit of rubbing, and they're going to really put on a battle if they do get side by side.
Green flag goes back in the air. We're underway again. Still 2 laps remaining. Green, white, checkered shootout. Cliff Bryant gets away just a little bit, but Austin Gravy is all over the tail tank of Justin Harrington. Off of turn number 4, white flag in the air. We're down to 1 lap remaining. Mike Glass farting with Marty Bryan for the 4th position, but at the front of the field, it is not going to make a difference. Caution on the Speedway. Caution, caution, no checkered flag. The 24 of Logan Road goes around. And we are not done yet. Logan Road was running in the 11th position when he spun in turn number 2. Cliff Bryan Jr. was within 100 yards of the twin checkers, and he's going to have to line up and do it again. This time with Austin Graby, Mike Glass, and brother Marty lining up behind Justin Harrington. All you can hope for, I guess, in a race, Bradley, is for the cream to rise to the top. And when you want to talk about the best of the best in this division, your top 7, 8, even 10 cars, that truly is the best you're going to see here at this racetrack.
Yeah, these guys, they're all doing a great job. There's a lot of them that have come a long way since the beginning, and give a shout out to all of them. I mean, even some of the guys are having a rough night. They're all giving it their all and having fun. A lot of them, that's all they're here for is fun. They're not worried about winning. They're just out there to get away from everyday life and do something that a lot of people can say that they've never done.
Yeah, there's something about the, what do you do for fun? Yeah, I drive race cars.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what else there is to do on a Saturday night other than drive race cars.
So that one's going to be an aborted start. It was ugly coming off of turn 2 and only proceeded to get uglier down the back straightaway. So now it's going to be a green and white flag together from Chief Starter Mike Fry. 1 lap, 1 shot. When do you take it and how do you make the most of it? Justin Harrington is there. Can he take the big shot on Cliff Bryan Jr.? Cliff able to pull away easily off of turn number 2. Twin checkers are in the air, and Cliff Bryan Jr. picks up the win over Justin Harrington. Austin Graby, Mike Glass, Marty Bryan, your top 5. 6 through 10 to Tyler Martin, Brent Shearer, Chase Laser, Zach Hollinger, and Alex Lucas. Nice run for the 44X. A lot of cars coming from the back. In fact, Zach Hollinger got sent to the back on the penalty early in this race. Congratulations to Zach Hollinger on a fantastic run as well. We will be downstairs to talk to your race winners in just a moment. Drew Wyke, you are our Kids Club 125 and 4-stroke Victory Lane photo winner. Drew, if you're still here, head on down to the flag stand. We'll get you out for the Victory Lane photo. All right, down here with third place finisher Austin Graby. Austin, you put on a heck of a show tonight. You and teammate Mike Glass had everybody thoroughly confused around this place. How exactly does it happen that you're flopping wings and car parts and all that kind of stuff around?
Well, started out in his car in the beginning of the night, and I just felt more comfortable in this one, so we switched back. But I mean, as you can tell, it worked out pretty well. I seen he was up there, and we got here on the third, but it was a good run.
All right, buddy. Congratulations on the third place run tonight. Who do you got to thank?
Everybody that busted their butts to put a new piston in this. My dad, Jim, Kim, and Mike, all of them, they really make this thing go, and I can't thank them enough.
All right, Austin, congratulations on the third place finish tonight. We'll head down here and talk to runner-up finisher Justin Harrington. You were about a second and a half off of taking $1,000 home out of this place tonight, but overall, I guess you can't be too disappointed.
No, I'm not mad. I mean, to lose to Cliff and them, they're on top of their game every time they come here. So we've been lucky that he's been running a super sportsman, and, we've been being able to cash in. But, no, I thought there that as fast as I passed them other guys on the top that I could gain on him, but it just seemed that he was just too good on the bottom. So we were sitting pretty in second. I knew Austin was there, so I was like, let's just go to the bottom and protect. I don't have enough time. I think if we would have gotten into lap traffic, I don't know. It would have been close. It would have been fun. But, we're sitting here in second, so.
All right, Justin. Well, congratulations on the second place finish tonight. You got them in once. Let's do it again. Who do you have to thank?
All my sponsors, Alfred and Sam's Bakery, Clay Realty, Harrington Properties, my dad, James, Jamie, their kids, Zach, Brent, everybody. We all come together, RJ, and, try and get this package to work.
All right, Justin. Congratulations. Average finish of 1.5 on the night. Not a bad night at all. Let's head down here. We haven't gotten to see you as much up front here. There's your feature winner sticker. And ladies and gentlemen, feature winner Cliff Bryan Jr. You got the fans ready for you up here again. Cliff, this piece was really good all night. Just how quick was it?
On a night like this, nothing feels fast. I don't know. It just doesn't feel fast. You don't know.
Is that almost like when it's that good, everything just seems to slow down and work well for you?
Yeah, especially when I got people like Justin and Austin behind me. I don't know. They're behind me. I can't see how fast. If they're on me, I don't know.
All right, Cliff. Well, congratulations on the win. Who do you got to thank?
I got to thank my dad, my Uncle Billy, Scott, Dougie, all the people that sponsored. Frank Shocks, Degree Engineering, DC Egger, all the other ones. I'm not good with names, but.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, feature winner Cliff Bryan Jr. Before we bring out the final feature of the night, let's get the commercial break out of the way for those of you on the live stream. You're watching Race Night at the Clyde on the National Racing Network.
At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience. At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience in building and tuning, you can count on us to get you to the winner's circle. Whether it is diagnostics, sales, or service, 600cc Performance is your source for everything CC racing. Find out more at 600ccperformance.com.
Like this.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I've taken 25 selfies in the last 10 minutes.
26.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are watching on the National Racing Network live stream. One more big feature race coming up. Upcoming races coming up here on the National Racing Network. October 16th and 17th, I believe. We announced it last weekend. The first pay-per-view on NRN.TV, the 31st annual Linda's National Open. We could not be more excited to bring that race to you. Pay-per-view details will go up on that one right about the middle of September. We'll start getting all the pay-per-view buys lined up. Coming up the first weekend in November, the Battle at the Bullring 100 coming up from Airport Speedway in Newcastle, Delaware. That race was a blast last year. We are looking forward to getting back there for another 100-lap spectacular this season. But we still got a bunch of racing coming up here at Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway, including next weekend the Bud Spring Service Labor Day Shootout. 2 full days of racing action. And before we even get there, we got to get through the 270 feature tonight. They're rolling out onto the Speedway. Here is your starting lineup. Starting in the 24th position, the 8Z of Nate Gibble. And to his inside, the 17J of Jared Imler. 7L of Chase Laser and the 49W of Johnny West will start in 22nd and 21st positions. 20th will be the 13S of Charles Hellinger. Starting in 19th, the 63 of Todd J. Adams. And in 18th, the 29J of Danny Lane Jr. Starting 17th, the 20 of Corey Schmuck Jr. And the 4L of Ben Laser will roll off in position number 16. Starting 15th, the 53 of Brent Shearer and the 44 of Pat Beeler. 8S of Mike Skia starts 13th, and the 5K of Mike Rutherford will roll off in the 12th position. Starting 11th, the 87 of Austin Graby, and 10th position, the 2 of Mike Miller. Starting 9th, the 55 of Pete Skias, and rolling off outside of row 4 in position number 8, the 92 of Jason Swavely. Starting 7th, the 74 of Billy Logeman, and rolling off 6th, the 88D Andrew Dietrich. Your top 5 starters rolling off in the 5th position, the 3S of Nick Skias, 4th, the 82 of Heath Hanley. Starting 3rd, the 2 of Mike Miller, and on the front row, the 16P of Patrick Kern will line up 2nd. And on the pole, the 22 of Clinton Hauser. 11 was the inversion pill. About as much of a flip as you could get. And we are ready. Green flag is out. We are underway here in the final feature event of the night. Clinton Hauser jumps out to the early lead. Fields clean off of turn number 4 and into turn 1. Little bit of a bobble for Pete Skias in the 55. That's going to stack him up towards the back of the pack. Here comes Heath Hanley looking to the inside of Patrick Kern. Hanley now throws it up on the outside, gains a ton of momentum, but we've got a battle for the race lead. Patrick Kern, new race leader off at turn 4. Clinton Hauser going to duck down to the inside, try to get around the 16P, and instead, oh, what a drive for Heath Hanley. That 82 machine took off like a rocket off of 2 passes for the lead off at turn 4. Nick Skias now going to work on the 16P. Caution flag is out. 1 car coming to a stop outside at turn number 4. Looks like the 4L of Ben Laser coming to a stop outside at turn 4. We knew the racing was going to be pretty intense here, Bradley, but I don't think we were ready for 3 passes for the lead in the span of about 5 corners.
Yeah, the run that Heath got off of turn 2 there, he went from 3rd to 2nd and then dropped underneath Patrick Kern into 3 for the lead and made it stick. That car seems like they figured out whatever their problems were last week. I know they struggled a little bit with it, and they really got it humming here tonight.
It was very reminiscent of watching what Cliff Bryan Jr. was doing in lap traffic in that last feature, where the car went anywhere he wanted it to go. Kind of think we might be seeing the same thing out of Heath Hanley here.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell they're calm, collected, and they're keeping their minds right on the prize and not making huge moves on the steering wheel, not jerking the car around, upsetting it. They're just smoothly going right through the field, and they're able to do it better than pretty much any of us.
So Heath Hanley, your race leader. Patrick Kern going to line up to his outside. Nick Skias and Mike Miller will make up row number 2. Clinton Hauser and Andrew Dietrich in row number 3. Green flag back in the air. We're underway again. 22 laps remaining. Nick Skias down to the inside of Patrick Kern. He'll complete the pass off of turn number 4. 3 wide going into turn 1. Alex Swift way to the inside. Here comes Billy Logeman in the 74. He's going to split the difference right up the middle. Logeman charging quickly to the front. We've got a battle for the race lead as well, but man, it's hard to take. Oh, big hit into the outside wall. Patrick Kern, Billy Logeman. Both cars continue. I was just going to say, it's hard to take your eyes off the battle a little bit deeper in the pack. Mike Miller has third. Jason Swavely high, wide, and handsome off of turn number 2. Now he's going to try the slider in 3 and 4. Right up in front of Miller. Nice pass by Jason Swavely. Miller going after the return job in turns 1 and 2. Alex Swift going to join the party. He makes it 3 wide. Swavely bounces off the outside wall. This is the battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th, as we've also got a battle for the race lead shaping up as well. Billy Logeman pulls it off into the infield. Trouble for the 74. His race is done. Huge slider out of Mike Miller on Jason Swavely. Mike Rutherford there as well. Trouble for the 22 with Clinton Hauser. He's off into the infield as well. Chase Laser down into the infield also. We've now got 3 cars at the front of the field. And don't look now, but here comes Jason Swavely and Mike Rutherford. Those 2 cars ripping the lip around the outside, gaining ground quickly.
Yeah.
Nick Skias, new race leader.
A couple laps ago, Jason Swavely got put hard into the front stretch wall by Alex Swift, and Alex got away, and Jason had to regroup there a good bit.
We're starting to see that a little bit at the further towards the front as well. Oh, Alex Swift slides right up in front of Heath Hanley. Nice slider off of turn 4. Hanley bites down to the inside, not able to gain any ground, and here comes Swavely all up all over the tail tank of the 82 Gold Rush trailer sales entry. 13 laps in the books, 12 remaining. We are halfway home here in the 270 feature. Nick Skias, your race leader, by 1.3 seconds over Alex Swift. It's another full second back to Heath Hanley in third. Hanley's going to have Swavely, Rutherford, and Pat Beeler catching up there. We'll slide back just a little bit further to pick up the battle between the 8S of Mike Skias and the 87 of Austin Gravy. That's the battle for the 10th position. Side-by-side fight there. Corey Schmuck Jr. also fighting with the 88D of Andrew Dietrich. Race leader Nick Skias down against the inside, and Alex Swift is catching him in a hurry. Skias having to battle lap traffic. Swift working now inside of the 8Z of Nate Gibble. He'll get the pass made there, but the lead's down inside of 3 car lengths with 7 laps remaining. Skias looks inside of the 13S of Charles Hellinger. Swift able to come by right with him going into turns 1 and 2. Hanley inside of Gibble. Lap car there. Swavely up to the outside. Rutherford and Beeler also starting to do battle as we're down to 5 to go. Everybody, Bradley, it seems like is right there, but they're just not quite close enough to attempt the pass.
Yeah, they're all breathing down each other's necks. The track is just so fast, and they have them tires moved in on the bottom, makes the bottom a little bit better. Looks like
we got
Nick
a battle
Skias
for
might
the
have
lead.
just blown up.
Skias blows up. He's slow. Swift and Hanley now get a battle side by side for the race lead with 3 laps to go. Here comes Jason Swavely as well. Heath Hanley up to the outside. Alex Swift to the inside. Swift clips the infield tire, slides right up. Almost got into Hanley down the front straightaway. New race leader, Heath Hanley. Swift fights back to the inside, 2 laps remaining. Jason Swavely's right there to join that battle as well. Going to be the white flag. 1 to go this time by side. The lead 13 1/1000ths of a second. Swift inside of Hanley. This one's going to be a drag race to the line. Off of turn number 4. Who's going to win it? Alex Swift gets the win over Heath Hanley. What a fantastic finish. Jason Swavely comes home third. Mike Rutherford fourth. Pat Beeler rounds out your top 5. 6 through 10, Andrew Dietrich, Corey Schmuck, Mike Miller, Mike Skias, and Patrick Kern. Before we let you take the headset off here, Bradley, we got to say thank you for a couple of weeks of fantastic color commentary. You have a future up here when you want to quit driving race cars, but give them hell out there when you're back here next weekend.
Yeah, it was a blast up here. You guys do great work, and I know there's a lot of people out there that don't realize how much work you do put in a night, and it's a lot more than a lot of people would expect. Hats off to you and your crew and everybody in the tower. I mean, when you're out there running the race cars, you don't know what is all involved in making the night go along. You just drive a race car. So, again, hats off to everybody, all the officials, and everybody up here, and I'm excited to get back down there on the track.
All right, buddy. Good luck next weekend, and thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Bradley Brown. We're going to head downstairs, talk to race winner Alex Swift, second place finisher Heath Hanley, and third place Jason Swavely here in just a moment. All right, we'll start our victory lane interviews here with third place finisher Jason Swavely. You hit the wall a ton with the right-hand side of this thing. It doesn't look too worse for wear, but did it drive any worse after that heavy contact with the outside wall?
No, it just breaks the momentum a lot. I did get fenced twice pretty good, but it is what it is. It's part of racing. I'm glad we can finish this one. We've been struggling a little bit with some motor issues. We lost our good motor last week. We ain't getting that one back, but blew up in the makeup feature leading. We got her back together, put a front axle in it, got fenced in that. I'm glad we can finish third.
Not a bad weekend, and then you get to come back here and do the double dip again next weekend. Who do you got to thank?
I got to thank Bill. I mean, he puts a lot of time and effort into this, and the whole crew. If it wasn't for these guys, I mean, we wouldn't have what we had.
All right, Jason, congratulations on the third place finish. We'll slide down here, talk to runner-up finisher tonight, Heath Hanley. You're looking a little, we'll say, not winded, but you definitely got a workout tonight in this thing. How was the Gold Rush machine tonight?
We're making improvements. I mean, got a fourth in the first race, a second this race. Alex was just really good on the bottom. And with what I had, I was stuck running the top, and it screwed me one time out here. Somebody just turned off the track from the middle, and then the next time it helped me because they were laying on each other. But it was a heck of a race. I mean, it was fun. It had to be fun to watch. I mean, I think there were probably 3 leaders in the last 5 laps. So it was cool. Gary, Gold Rush Trailer Sales, doing a good job. Chuck Skias, Viper Chassis, has been helping us out and got us straightened out here. So feels good to run up front both races, and we'll keep plugging away.
All right, Heath, congratulations. We'll see you up again here next weekend. Time to head now for our victory lane interview. Get you the winner's decal and little bit of a throwback on the uniform and everything else here. But Alex, this car, was it as good as it looked out here? You really seemed like you could run anywhere you wanted to.
I'll be honest, it felt magical, and I don't really know what we did. We didn't change much, but we were focused, and you know, I'm always trying to do good for Nick, and we're just still trying to get dialed in for Labor Day. So I think this was a good step in the right direction, or however you say it. I can't even talk. I'm tired. You just take it. Take it away.
All right, Alex, congratulations here. We got to get to the other question in here, though. Who do you got to thank? Get all the sponsor plugs in here.
I just like to thank Nick Walton. He owns the car. He came back from vacation to come out and run these double features tonight, which was great. I appreciate that. His wife, Billy Gray, Chris Turner, John West, and his wife. Everybody helps out. They all care a lot, and I just try to live up to their expectations. Sometimes I exceed them. I still feel like I let them down, but I'm just always trying to do good for them.
All right, Alex, congratulations. We will see you. We got here for the double dip. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 week from tonight, night number 1 of the Bud Spring Service Labor Day Shootout will be right here on the National Racing Network from Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway. We're going to come back on Sunday and do it again. 2 full nights of racing, and keep your eye out. We'll have some fun stuff out here from the Aaron's Acres Cornhole Tournament coming up on Friday night as well. So for Gaga, Magda, everybody else on the National Racing Network crew, and the entire staff here at Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway, thank you very much. We appreciate you tuning in and hanging out in the grandstands with us. Have a great night, everybody.
At 600cc Performance, our roots run deep in CC racing. A leader in fuel injection, dyno tuning, wiring, and diagnostics. With over 15 years of experience in building and tuning, you can count on us to get you to the winner's circle. Whether it is diagnostics, sales, or service, 600cc Performance is your source for everything CC racing. Find out more at 600ccperformance.com.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I've taken 25 selfies in the last 10 minutes.
26.
Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.